down, and then we will be on.
All right.
All right. Hello, YouTube, and welcome to the Real Siberius live stream with Pineapple Midrange. Wow. And hopefully AOH will stop in. If not, he absolutely will be with us on Tuesday. So make sure that you tune in then. Immediately, I just want to start off this live stream talking about Pineapple Midrange's video of LeBron's machine basically orchestrating the Scottie Pippen commercial. So I'm going to turn it over to you real quick, Pineapple, and we will go from there.
Well, thank you. How's it going? Hello, chat. Hello, everybody. Geloso, great video. Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope that you liked it. I hope that I hope that everybody doesn't let that go. I hope that that sticks for years. I hope that they talk about it for ages. I hope it's stapled to all of them. Because I have my doubts on whether or not you know, those commercials made Jordan proud in any way. I really wonder if that's what he means when he says, I hope I made Jordan proud by building an apparatus that just gets paid millions of dollars to manufacture a bunch of trash talk and putting down of Michael Jordan. So seems weird, but that's cool.
It does. It does seem weird.
So yeah, I don't know. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting.
So yeah, how did you come across this information, and how did that video come to fruition?
So sure. So I started looking at it a few weeks ago, and I started finding, little breadcrumbs, little things that just seemed kind of weird. At first, it seemed fine on the surface. It just kind of seemed like, oh wow, those are big names. I know some of those names. And then I started wondering about it more, and then started looking deeper into it. And then suddenly it was all coming out. So I started looking up some of the people involved in some of their other work, and then suddenly one by one, until then this past week I decided, you know what, I'm going to do a whole video on it. I'm going to go deep on it. I have enough connections, I think, that I can show, because it actually started from Rich Paul's agency that was the first piece of it. And then digging more and more on the other side of it, then I ended up on the Spring Hill stuff, and and then as I looked more into that, I ended up on the goat herder, and I did like triple, quadruple check that, because I said it in the video. I just wouldn't ever guess that a grown man would advertise themselves like that.
No, not at all.
I'm still trying to figure out. I was joking with you before. I'm still trying to figure out if that's self-aggrandizement or self-deprecation. Like, if you call yourself the herder of another grown man, are you putting yourself down, or do you think you're building yourself up? What does that mean? What do you think it means? Like, I need to hear. So that's how it came about. And then and then all week I've just been trying to put it together and learn more techniques in in all the editing software stuff, and writing and rewriting and writing and rewriting to see if I can make it as clear as possible, because I know that the process of how to make an advertisement like that is probably not something that most people are very familiar with.
Right.
So, and nothing about it was particularly strange about the process. That's how most ads get made. That's normal. I just, I think it's amazing that there is a reputation for making this kind of advertisement, that people know who to call for that kind of trash talking in what spheres, who's the best at manufacturing this conversation. I think it's gross that there is an expert on that, and I think it's particularly just corrupt and disgusting and despicable that the experts at doing that are, LeBron James's media machine people.
Well, that's one of the things that I found the craziest in your video was what is it called? Trollvertising, you said?
Yep, trollvertising. That's an actual. That's now a word that we all have to live with on Earth. Didn't used to be a word, but now it's a word. So we'll just have to deal with that now.
So I remember when I saw that I honestly thought, I was like, okay, that has to be like just something that he made up. So I did. So I Googled it and I'm like, oh no, that's a real actual thing.
Yes, sir.
Had no fucking idea. That was pulling back the curtain for me for sure.
That's where we're at.
Oh,
We have
wow.
trollvertisers. We have hired trollvertisers. There's a ranking who are the best trollvertisers and who are not so good troll. Like, there's a whole new little niche in manufactured drama for money. But that's not really all that surprising. I mean, and I don't think really that's new. Trollvertising is a clever way to put it now, but
Right.
that's been a thing, since social media marketing really took over. Especially since COVID, once the bigger players started coming in. But even in the 20 teens, that was something that was in a lot of advertising, a lot of the early players in like social media marketing. That was a thing, like using memes to try to direct stuff or making long
Right.
form
Right.
content and then breaking it up into memes. That's a thing. But uh, but in this case, the idea that, a firm or a group of people or multiple groups of people can be experienced in manufacturing this specific drama is really what pisses me off. Like, if it was just some random firm, that'd be fine. Like, I have nothing against, Havas and Zeno. They're great agencies, they're amazing publicists, they're great PR firms. They're fantastic at their jobs, and whatever the client, needs, they go and try to find people to talk about or hype up that thing.
Right.
But that you can work for, LeBron James, or that you can work for any, athlete and be the expert in manufacturing drama and beef and discourse on social media about that athlete or that athlete's rivals while that person is actively playing that sport is just, I don't think there's any laws against that, but it's so dirty that I feel like there should be. I feel like that's so despicable. I don't even know, like, what are we working with anymore? Like, what is this? Like, I don't know.
Just real quick, heads up to you, Pineapple Midrange and chat. AOH said he will be joining us shortly.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh,
So,
I'm happy to bench some of this. I don't know if he's in the
yes.
chat or not, but I'm happy to bench some of this to get his takes on it. I want to know so much if he's listening. So I guess he won't be surprised, but I want to know so much what his first thoughts were when he saw that there was an actual goat herder as an adult man. And I take it, probably a lot of people haven't actually seen it yet, but I'm seeing in the chat here. So people are asking questions. So to give the quick recap, although, obviously I hope that you will all go after this and watch the actual video for the full sort of breakdown details. It's short, 7 minutes, just straightforward. But the basic plot, if you haven't gathered, the Scottie Pippen Mr. Pibb ad that, if you guys remember, came out. I think it was March 23rd, or was it March 21st or March 23rd? Was the big release in the middle of March Madness.
Yeah.
That ad was made by the former chief creative officer and senior vice president at Spring Hill, which is LeBron's $725 million media company. So this was the chief creative officer, senior vice president. So he's C-suite. He's in the room. If anybody doesn't know what that means, that's the boardroom with all the C people. So CEO, CFO, CTO, CCO, etc. So it's that level. That's the guy who then made and produced and wrote and directed that advertisement. So the balls in that advertisement to then say, oh, people only think he's the GOAT because of, manufactured, narratives and manufactured, like, that's a line that hits a little different when you find that out. And then after the ad was made, it was Rich Paul's former agency, an agency he founded and then sold to another larger agency, and he continues to be involved in it. They're the ones who specialize in sort of the sports social media niche and seeding narratives and amplifying narratives and getting conversations or advertisements and stuff going on social media, getting it trending for everybody to talk about that and making it look like it's organic when it's not. So Rich Paul and Spring Hill put together that ad and seeded the whole conversation about it and manufactured the whole thing. So I just think that's gross. I think that shouldn't be allowed. I don't think that should be allowed in sports. If I had my way, that would be the rule, that no athlete can have any ownership or any part in any media companies while they're playing the sport. I think in the social media age, I think that's necessary for the integrity of the game. I think that's necessary for everything. And most sports actually have those kinds of rules. We've talked about that before. The NFL, baseball,
Yeah.
like you go do something like that in baseball, like you're out of the league. Like that, like no team is putting up with that. Or you're going to catch a lot of 100-mile-an-hour fastballs coming at your head. Like, and you imagine if some of these guys, like you imagine you go out there and make a hit piece on Nolan Ryan or something back in the day. Like, I mean,
You wouldn't last.
you
Period.
wouldn't last. Or guys today. I mean, I wouldn't go and, make a hit piece on Garrett Crochet and then get in front of him at the plate. Like,
Right.
that's a great way to get, to get injured. That's a way great. I mean, they'll throw at you. But for some reason in basketball, we've just decided that that's fine. We're just okay with that.
Well, and I would even take it a step further, not even just being able to like have ownership in those types of things. I don't think they should be allowed to have podcasts while they're active players.
No, I
You're
don't think so at all.
that's allowing you to create your own narratives. That shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah.
While you're an active participant, that can't be a thing.
Oh yeah. And on that note, I've got something about that for AOH. I was gonna save it for Tuesday for him, but if he's coming here, I'm gonna make sure he knows about this. But there's a pattern to exactly what you're talking about too, in terms of when they go on podcasts and when they release episodes and stuff. There's a pattern. It's a discernible,
Absolutely.
measurable, clear pattern. So
Absolutely.
not to
And again, it falls on the commissioner, it falls on the owners, it obviously falls on the players themselves. They need to be held accountable for their own actions, but it's everyone dismissing that accountability from all of those levels.
Yeah, I think this could end in about 5 minutes. I think Adam Silver could wake up tomorrow morning and just decide that that's the end of that, no more of that, and that would be the end of it.
Yeah.
Like, period. Like, there's a rule, for example, that they can't have an ownership stake in teams while they're actively playing. Just make that rule. Just do it. Worst case scenario, maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe you would need to wait to 2028. Maybe that would fall under the collective bargaining agreement, because technically, I think you could argue that impacts what dealings they're able to do or something. Like, I don't know if you'd have to get with the union for that or not. I have no idea, but they've had like 6 CBAs since that time, since this sort of began, and haven't done anything about that. So I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know who else I would put the blame on. Like, it's incentivized behavior. There's, I mean, we're not talking about small money here. This is $725 million evaluation in just one media company, never mind all the other agencies and sports agencies, marketing agencies, talent agencies, never minding all the little co-ventures and sport tech and all that kind of stuff. Never minding all of those things, just in the media alone, that's the kind of values we're talking about. So I don't know how it gets that big. I don't know how you don't squash this immediately, but that's, that's where the power structure comes from. That's where the access media problems come from. That's where ESPN, like that is the foundation, which is why it's sort of my third video on the channel, is because it's a case study in the foundation of what we've seen for the last 15 years, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Is ESPN wants to work with Spring Hill to produce long form content. If you're someone on ESPN, or you're talking about players, or you're talking about LeBron, who owns exactly that operation, that's going to affect your coverage of it, because if you get shut out from that, then all the cool long form content is not going to be about you, or is not going to feature you, or you're not going to be welcome to ask the questions, or you're not going to be able to do the interviews, or you're not going to be able to show live events like the decision and stuff. That's what the decision proved back then to ESPN, that players could do their own thing. So they have to,
Yeah.
sort of acquiesce to whatever the players want and give them the coverage that they want, or else they'll get cut out of the process. And then, whatever. And like, that's the kind of fear that drives, I think, a lot of this stuff. I really truly believe that that's the main source. If they weren't fearful of that, because they were not fear. Think about this. There was no apparatus for this in the 90s, in the early 2000s, in the 80s, in the 70s, right? Like, players sought out media coverage. Players tried to beat the media, but the media would usually be relentless and be hypercritical. I would argue too critical and too hard on a lot of players, because that's what sold headlines, right? That's
Yeah.
what sold papers. That's what
Yeah.
sold, that's what got you to watch on TV. If you remember, like, the old days of Sports Center, that's what got people to watch. It was interesting, and you would debate if this guy's good or not good and all that. But you didn't have this sort of, infinite glazing of virtually everybody, and I just, that's what I think. That's where I think it comes from. I think if you're in that network, if you're in that circle, you can expect glazing and sucking up and good coverage and excuses and all that kind of stuff, all that defense for you. And if you're outside of that, prepare to get destroyed anytime it is helpful for the ones who are inside it. And Kevin Durant followed the same model, by the way. He built his own little media company too. He followed the LeBron model, and he gets very similar treatment because of that. And that's where his leverage comes from with a lot of these teams. Like, that's what I think. That's my that's my sort of view on how this works.
Well, no, I completely agree. And I mean, why would they be afraid of it? There's no consequences or
Nope,
retribution for any of it. You
none.
can go onto your podcast or onto your platform and say whatever you want to say in a completely consequence free, no accountability environment where, if anything, whatever you just said is now going to be parroted back, whether it be on YouTube channels, whether it be in sports media. There's never going to be any pushback against what you said. If anything, they're just going to take what you said and roll with it, even if it is disparaging someone else.
Yeah, that's absolutely what I think. I think that's 100% true. I think history has proved that true at this point. I mean, you have 15 years now, 16 years of data that says that is how it is.
So, AOH, I see you in the chat. I had emailed you the link. If you need me to send it to you again, let me know.
Hell yeah. Let's go. I suppose while he's
But yeah,
getting that
man, that's
sorted. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, while he's getting that sorted, I see some good comments here in the chat.
Oh, please, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Absolutely address those.
Oh, King Speech. What's up, King Speech? I don't know why I speak louder, as if I need to shout at you in the back of the room, but still getting used to this whole thing. Scottie Pippen obsession by bronze sexuals needs to be studied. Yeah, I mean, and right on cue, there's a Prozac 623. LeBron fans, the 90s were all plumbers and firemen, also LeBron fans. Scottie Pippen was an all-time great who carried Jordan. Yeah, exactly. Like, both of you, just nail on the head. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's just so nonsensical. And my perspective on that is because it is nonsensical, because it's manufactured. It's manufactured temporarily and acutely at strategic times, and over time it doesn't make sense together because it's not an honest narrative. It's not an organic narrative. It's not something that originates from fans. It's not something that originates from people watching the game or who used to watch the game. It's a manufactured hype thing. This is what's cool to say. And then 6 months later, the opposite is cool to say. And then 6 months after that, it's cool again. And over time, it just becomes nonsense.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I don't think it will last. Like, I can't imagine this still being a thing in 10 years that anybody's going to still believe any of this shit. The NBA, Prozac623, the NBA needs to institute something similar to the NHL's rule against a two-line pass that guards against cherry picking so that LeBron can't just stand around on the other side of the court. I just recently found out that that's not a specific rule. I always thought that was a rule. I always thought that you actually couldn't go that far. So I don't know if maybe that was just like etiquette or something. I mean, I know that there's a half court rule and stuff, but I didn't know you could actually just, be there like that. I think that's weird. And I tried, I don't know if AOH caught it, but I thought of him when I did it. I modeled the gameplay in my video. You can actually see LeBron James do that in NBA Street Volume 2. You can see him just hang out in the back while Jordan's just destroying 3v2. I really tried to make it realistic,
AOH, how's it going?
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good
Thank you for joining
afternoon,
us.
sir.
I'm out and about. I'm on the move. If that's
Okay, no problem.
You sure? Okay. If it sounds bad, I'll hang up.
No, you sound great.
Don't mind at all. And yeah, it sounds great so far.
I want to shout out to one comment right here from Prozac623. I love this. LeBron is nothing more than a marketing campaign. He is a product just like M&M's or Tide.
It's true.
I will never buy laundry detergent the same way.
Absolutely true.
I
So
like
AOH, I don't know if you saw Pineapple Midrange's video yet, but both of us wanted to get your thoughts on seeing another man refer to himself as goat herder.
I think he walked in somewhere where someone was talking.
Oh, he may have, yeah.
Well, I really
Yeah,
hope so.
I definitely want to get his perspective on that.
I really hope he's seen it because I don't.
Gentlemen.
Yeah.
Hello. Sorry,
Yes, sir.
This is exactly why we ran into some dog people that.
Oh, that's nice.
Weird dog people these days. Anyways, I did listen to your episode, and yeah, looking forward to talking about it more. But goat herder, yeah, it's a self-given title.
Self-given. I didn't write it. I swear to God, nobody else called him that. He wrote it himself. I put a screenshot. The man calls himself the goat herder.
And hurting LeBron toward the best media manipulation possible.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Because if you were LeBron James, you could kind of take that like you're talking shit, like, you're just a goat, and I'm the shepherd. I heard you around like the animal that you are. But obviously he didn't mean it that way.
Nope.
No.
And can you imagine anybody even daring to call themselves something like that to suggest that they heard Michael Jordan? Like, I mean, I feel like they'd be excommunicated from all things basketball. I feel like they would never work in basketball again. Like, I don't think Michael Jordan would ever stand for something like that. But
yeah.
But that's the thing.
Well, how many companies did you list in that video? That's the other thing. It's just like everybody's creating a media company, and then you can like pass it along to somebody else. And like if you're someone like me, I'm like, okay, I'm already tired of trying to chase down this rabbit hole of exactly who's responsible here. But you completed the process. But how many names would you say that there were included in your video?
Probably 6 or 7, I think.
God, I thought it was more.
It could be. I don't know. I have to, let's see. So you got WPP, which is that's Coca-Cola's longtime ad agency. They've been partners for ages. All the cool Coke commercials, those guys made them. They're one of the best ad agencies in the world. let's see. So they farmed it out to Majority, which is in Atlanta, which incidentally I didn't put in the video, but just as a cool little random fact, that was co-founded or backed by Shaquille O'Neal, interestingly enough. He's a passive guy. He just helped start it, gave it some initial money and is getting returns and stuff, but he has very, very little involvement in it. It was a good business move by Shaq. So, props to him for doing his business school stuff. But yeah, so they farmed it out to Atlanta, and that guy then hires his brother, who was the guy at Spring Hill, who was the senior vice president that we were talking about, the goat herder.
Spring Hill just sounds like it's going to be filled with evil shit.
People like that.
They got this. They got this extra like sounding name. It's like nope.
Yep, and it's funny. You can go look them up sometime. You can go see like what it looks like in there, and like it looks like that. Like that looks kind of like, I don't know. It just, I wouldn't want to go into that building, is what I'm saying. But yeah, so that's Spring Hill's connection there, and then from there, when it gets to the marketing, so that's sort of how the ad gets made, and then when it goes to the marketing agencies, there's tons of marketing and PR firms and all that kind of stuff. The other two are total neutrals. They just, whatever client needs stuff, they just do stuff. It's Rich Paul's marketing agency that was really the focus.
Where were they at when they first launched the barbershop on HBO? Which production company was that underneath of?
I'm not sure which production company made that one. I mean, that's done by Spring Hill, but I don't know if they farmed out any of the actual on-set production. But I mean, I can find that out real quick.
Is that, I might be unfair, but is that the first time you remember an athlete surrounding himself with yes men and then fishing for compliments and just being surrounded by people who are going to agree?
That's like absolutely the first time I remember seeing that.
I feel like athletes have had like entourages like that are kind of like that, but they're usually personal connections, not people you pay to actually go do that in public or in the media. They're just guys who hang out with you and gas you up all the time.
Yeah, and obviously the way that he used that to call himself the GOAT. I think most people remember the barbershop for that, but that's certainly not the only self grandizing that took place on there. It's just the one that really stands out.
Yeah, and that guy, this the Spring Hill guy that I talked about, this goat herder, he made a bunch of the ads that you probably remember that were also like that. He actually made a couple. I don't know if you remember, they tried to like sort of reclaim the meme of LeBron James not reading Malcolm X.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, they made a thing about that. They made it for like a mobile game. The idea that he's caught, it's actually true. I don't read the books. I actually carve out a space for a phone, and I'm playing this like phone, Gamba game in the phone in the book, and pretending that I'm reading. You got me, ha ha ha. And they did like a whole campaign with that, with a few commercials for that.
I was not aware of that fact.
Yeah,
so
that happened.
They tried to own the meme.
Yeah, they tried to like exactly kind of reclaim it once the meme got big enough. Then they tried to make that ad. He's like trying to read like Jane Eyre or something, and then not reading it, doing that. Lynetta says she remembers that ad, or they remember that ad. Yes, that's the same person.
It's just like.
I like this. Prozac says, all of these buffoons surrounding LeBron are like Dwight Schrute to his Michael Scott. Yes, these are the assistants to the assistant GOAT. That's what that is. King Speech Rose says, grown men call that man their king. Their weirdness knows no bounds. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm
King Herders.
Liberius, I listened to your, I think it's your most recent one before this one, about Jordan defending LeBron.
Yeah.
And I was out late and drunk and recorded a response to it, and I decided I'll just say it to you live. And I was like, I don't want Jordan to defend LeBron, but I started trying to think about being in Jordan's position. And it's just like, can you like, you're talking about when LeBron was down, right? This was like right before he went to Miami and he kept losing.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, you're Jordan. You're the GOAT. You're sitting on a throne, and here's this kid who's losing. It would look really bad if he like kicked a loser when the loser was already losing. You almost have to say something nice. Not that I wanted him to, but like, how much worse would it have been for Jordan if he'd actually like said, "Yeah, fuck this guy," or "No, he's terrible."
Well, and no, I absolutely understand what you're saying, and I 100% agree with it. I think because Jordan has said similar things recently, like he made a call to Bam Adebayo and congratulated him on his 83-point game. He recently said
No, he didn't.
that LeBron did.
Oh,
That
son of a
LeBron
bitch.
and Kevin Durant both elevated the game of basketball. You don't. Here's my problem with it. Yes, you would absolutely look bad for punching down. That would be terrible, and it would destroy your image and your reputation. However, there's the choice of not saying a fucking thing at all.
Yeah.
And that's where I have a problem with it, is you didn't have to say that. You weren't asked a question and have to respond. You voluntarily offered this shit of your own accord. And I'm like, I can't tolerate that.
So can I I'm going to jump in with something on that.
No, absolutely.
I'll remind you guys, Jordan Brand endorses Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo is under, I mean, he's not represented by them, but I mean, he's one of the Jordan Brand signees. He's one of the guys that Jordan Brand endorsed years ago.
Right.
So, you know, I feel like you have to, right? I mean, if you run Jordan Brand, if you're Michael Jordan, you have to congratulate anybody for accomplishing anything.
Well, now you're talking real big picture. Are you going to be a businessman, or are you going to be the man that inspires the rest of us when you like, nope, sorry, I know that I represent him, but that 83 points was bullshit. Because that's what we all want to hear. But as a business person, now it's like, well,
yeah, but you can't pay somebody millions of dollars to represent your brand and then give them a call and tell them you're a weak piece of shit. That was actually bullshit.
Well, no, but again,
can you not call? Can you not call? Is that an option?
That's true. That's true.
Nothing. You don't need to acknowledge it, especially when you have the reputation of being a fucking ghost for 23 years, not commenting on everything, not giving your opinion on everything. Like, he already has that to fall back on. Is I don't pay attention to all of this shit. I just ignore it. It's just noise in the background that I don't pay attention to. But he's willingly putting himself on the record. Again, not being asked a question, like, that's different. If he's in an interview and somebody says, you know, hey, Jordan, what did you think about Bam Adebayo's 83-point game? At that point, you're obligated to respond, and I could even forgive you for responding in a certain accord. But he wasn't asked a question. He just voluntarily did this. And I'm like, that's where I have the problem with it.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Maybe it's just a perception of voluntary, though. Maybe when you're in that position, it's expected. And if you don't do it, then people will start asking questions.
Well, he's always...
Go ahead.
No, please.
I also look at it as he is under a $40 million contract with NBC. I don't know the details of that contract. It could absolutely stipulate in that contract, you need to make sure that you are promoting basketball in whatever way you can to validate the amount of money that we spend to get the NBA back.
If you guys recall, I immediately said, I don't like it. I did not like hearing, because I'd rather him remain the ghost, because these days you can't say anything. The most perfectly written words prepared and delivered will still get used against you now.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I will say this though, just to kind of go on a different little thing about going back to the that he was in defense of LeBron James and all that before. Which, by the way, did you see? I watched was it? I think it was on the. I think it was on the basketball show, watching Nick Wright like backtrack from everything he said and try to change it and try to weasel out of it. They say, well, he's just threatened because that's when he approved the documentary was on the parade. Like Jordan gives a shit about parade. Like,
Right.
What does that have to do with it? And it wasn't like publicly a known thing either. That's when he approved it in a boardroom with a handshake. It's not like he put out a press release. But regardless, so that little anecdote that guy, I can't remember his name now, it starts with a W. He said that before. He's that's not the first time that he's told that story. He told that story back in 2020.
Right.
He told that story back when The Last Dance came out, and there was some ginned up controversy about Jordan being threatened by LeBron's greatness and stuff with the bubble chip. And they were like, "What are you talking about?" He defended, he told the press to go easy on him. All that stuff.
Yeah.
But I want to point out, Jordan is one of the most calculated press people ever. I know all the words can be used against you and stuff, but he really tries to have the perfect words to
He
never,
does a good job.
He does
He
a
does.
great job. And he's got everybody at Jordan Brand under a very tight leash. You look at all like their press releases and stuff like that. No one's allowed to like step out of line or put words in his mouth or any.
Right.
No one's allowed to call themselves the goat herder in Jordan camp. Like that's not going to fly. But I will point out, if you look at that, people are framing that now as like, oh, you see, even Jordan, thought LeBron was the GOAT and all that. The words that the man said were that Jordan would call the media guys, would call the reporter and tell them, hey, don't go too hard on the kid. It's hard to get over the hump and that kind of stuff, right? That's not pro. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a story. Like, he is not, you'd think that if it were true, right, that he actually does consider LeBron James better than him, or that LeBron James is actually the GOAT and the torch has been passed, he could say that. He could say anything to that effect. Any statement could come out that even remotely suggests something like that. The most that they have is a morsel from like 2011, from 15 years ago, saying, hey, go easy on the kid in the papers tomorrow. And they're like, oh, that's it. That means that Jordan thinks he's the GOAT and is better than Jordan and all. Like, that is the softest. That's not even an endorsement. That's just, hey, media guys, don't be too mean to the kid. He's young.
And again, that's him being the bigger man, the more secure man, a person who actually believes that he's the GOAT. Because if he were insecure like Jordan, he'd be frothing at the mouth for an opportunity to take him down, to punch down, as Siberia said.
Yeah.
For
Well,
sure.
I almost put it in the video, but I decided to save it for when we could all get together live. But that was a point I wanted to make, but I didn't want to editorialize in the video. I just wanted to lay it out. But Jordan is the most competitive man possibly in the history of humanity. In the history of planet Earth, there might never have been somebody more competitive than that guy, right? But it's only when there's a rival, when there's a challenger. If you're not considered a challenger to him, he's the nicest person in the world. So like, I don't buy it. You'd think if he was threatened, I feel like we'd be seeing tons of ads for Jordan. I feel like he would go so hard. My guess is that, sort of you remember the old, Republicans buy shoes too. LeBron fans buy shoes too. We've been joking about that for ages. Sports and Fitness was talking about that this morning.
Yeah.
Like every time they run this shit, I bet you the sales of Jordans go up. I'm sure he's over there just like, hey, look at that. I just keep on winning.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go over here and win 5 NASCAR championships and do other GOAT stuff. Like, to hell with it. So just to put that out there, that what he said wasn't even an endorsement. That's not even a pro anything. And if that's all you've got from 15 years ago, like, I don't know. I don't think he's threatened. I don't think he cares.
It was enough to get Siberians worked up.
Well, it was. And you know what was funny is I pretty much got checked by a few people immediately, pointing out obvious things that I just missed. And Wilt Chamberlain Archive actually commented on the video, and he's like, I understand where you're coming from, but you have to take it like every single thing that Jordan could have said during that interview is now being misconstrued.
Yeah. And
I was like, God damn it, why didn't I think of that? I've literally had that happen with me where I say something and then the media turns it in. I'm like, I didn't say that. You got every fact fucking wrong. And I'm like, that didn't even enter my brain. And I don't like to make excuses for myself, but that's absolutely where my brain injury fucks me. I saw something, I ran with it, and then I'm like, shit. I should have waited. Like, I just should have known, and I didn't.
Maybe. But I think it's okay as long as you didn't, found a media empire and then run it for 15, 16 years promoting it. I think that's the difference.
I also... I stand by the things that I said in the video, even if Jordan is taken out of that context. I don't believe that coddling people benefits anyone. I don't, I believe in all of the things that I said in the video if you remove them from that specific situation. So I didn't feel the need to take down the video. I didn't feel the need to preface.
I wouldn't.
A comment on the video and say, well, actually, this and this. No, I stand behind the things that I said in the video. I did jump the gun though. And I have to take accountability of that.
Well, here's another angle on it. I almost forgot. I recorded this in my drunkenness, but what if that was in fact part of Jordan's strategy if forging steel through fire makes them better, giving pity is going to keep LeBron the soft little bitch that he is. So maybe Jordan knew what he was doing, and he's like, "Yeah, I am gonna coddle this guy because he's never gonna develop."
I agree, and I think that's an excellent point. I also think PMR had an excellent point of if you're not viewed as competition or a threat.
Yeah.
Then what the fuck would you care to say that they're great? Oh yeah, they're fine. They're perfect. There's nothing wrong with them, because that wouldn't wound you in any way because you are secure within yourself. You're just basically casting them aside as I don't even worry about that.
Unless he feels that LeBron James is a person who needs to be coddled, that he's too fragile to handle that kind of media stuff. That could also be a little side thing. Is there any evidence of him calling anyone in the media to go easy on Kobe when the Lakers were struggling? I don't think so.
On record telling Kobe to figure it out. When Kobe called him and said, I can't get my team to win. He's like, I don't have the answer for you. Figure it out.
That strikes me as more respect. That strikes me as seeing somebody more as an equal or near equal
for sure.
Well, that's what I had to do. You can do it too, because you can do it like I did, because you are like me, as opposed to, oh man, he's just a kid. He can't handle that.
Yep.
Go easy on the poor guy. He's not actually, he's not that kind of player. He's not that kind of guy. Be nice.
See, with all of these things being brought to light about it and about my perceptions of it, I almost want to make the video again so I can include all of this. I mean, I'm not going to, but it sheds a lot more light on why things could have been said, why things could have been misconstrued. And yeah, I jumped.
You know what you did? Because you allowed for this conversation, and a lot of people are probably having some interesting thoughts because of the original track that you laid down.
I think so.
Fair. That's fair.
I like this comment here. I want to address that. Lynetta402 says he coddled Pippen though. Or sorry, he coddled Pippen too.
Oh my God, he did. And AOH, you pointed it out. When you were talking about that stupid fucking narrative in The Last Dance where he locked down Magic full court, and you were pointing that what's it, Vernon Maxwell or whatever that fucking guy's name was.
Oh yeah.
And you specifically pointed it out. And you're like, there's absolutely no way that Jordan didn't see that and he decided to leave it in anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a perfect example that he absolutely coddled him.
But I think that's I think that's a little bit different. I feel like that's slightly different. I mean, they're teammates, fighting together at the time to do stuff. And so I feel like even years later, there's got to be some level of camaraderie. I think you would expect, right, for there to be some level of camaraderie or mutual respect.
Another
for
piece
that.
I didn't mention that was in that about how when Scotty got knocked down, and they said when we saw that didn't affect Scotty, we knew we had him. And I was like, Scotty looks pretty affected to me sitting there.
He sat there for quite a while.
It's like it looks like it affected him. It's disappointing to know that the documentary is not 100%. But again, I'm saying, geez, credit to Jordan to go out of his way and try and make Scotty look good, even when he had to embellish to do it. And as a thanks, Scotty fucking just went on a rampage.
Yep. And Lanetta 402 followed up with he knew that Pippen had a fragile ego. I think that's probably true. I think he also, at least at the time, probably in those days, we talked about it briefly before on AOH stream. Scotty was dealing with a lot of contract disputes, a lot of contract fights, trying to renegotiate that contract in the 90s with Krause and the Bulls. And so Jordan was really trying to keep sort of Pippen's sort of morale up, keep his ego boosted, keep him focused on the game, because he didn't want to lose his teammate. So he was even fighting, him and the other Bulls were even fighting on Pippen's side, trying to put pressure on the GM, trying to put pressure on the Bulls to pay Scotty more to renegotiate that contract, because he did sign kind of a shitty contract. So, I think there was some level of that, of not only, just maybe fragile as a person, but also dealing with all that kind of stuff and already feeling sort of aggrieved and resentful, and Jordan just trying to keep everybody together. So, which I think is, I think that's a leadership trait. I think I view that as something good, on a team. If you got someone on your team that's struggling with something, you step in, even if it's got nothing to do with you, and try to lift that team member up so that they can perform the best they can at the task at hand.
And if
I think that's great.
if Scotty was a stronger individual, maybe Jordan would have felt like he could have given him the Kobe treatment and been like, "Hey, dude, you signed that contract. Just get your shit together because we need you. And I'm sick of you complaining about the bed that you made. Sleep in it."
Yeah.
But he didn't.
I think so.
But he saw who Scotty was and knew he had to his back, even though Scotty was kind of wrong.
Well, especially because Jordan never renegotiated a contract. He never went back to them for more money. And he even specifically commented on it once, saying, "How am I supposed to teach my sons the value of your word if I don't uphold my contract? If I say this is what I signed for." And I think you may have made a video on that as well, AOH. But demonstrating I have to stand by this, regardless of whether I agree with it or disagree with it. It's my word. I cannot refute it. He absolutely could have thrown that in Pippen's face and said, "Do you see me, the most popular player on the planet, going back and saying, 'Give me more fucking money. I'm the most popular player on the planet'?" No, I didn't do that. And you shouldn't be allowed to do it either. But he didn't. He still went to bat for him, talking about he deserves more money.
A contract used to be quite really binding. It doesn't seem to mean much of anything anymore.
No, it really doesn't.
No, and even Pippen didn't think to do that. I mean, Pippen, aired some of his gripes with the Bulls, and timing his surgery and all that kind of stuff. But you didn't see him there going out into the media. To Pippen's credit, you didn't see him going out in the media and just, "This team is nothing. I gotta go. You gotta trade me to where? You gotta trade me to LA. You gotta trade me somewhere. Screw the Rockets. Screw the Pelicans. Screw everybody. I don't care what the contract says. I need off this team right now. I'll pay the fine." Like, you didn't see that.
I thought he requested a trade.
Yeah, there was a little bit.
He wasn't demanding it. He didn't try to hold the team hostage.
He said, "I don't see myself playing another game in a Bulls uniform."
Yeah.
I don't think that's the same thing as demanding a trade.
It's not good.
Well, he certainly wasn't rewarded for it.
No.
They didn't give it to him.
They certainly didn't bend to his will, and he inevitably had to swallow his pride and ended up playing again. So
Fair enough. You're right, though. That comment does. Yeah, it's pretty close. That's too close. All right. Well, I tried. Oh, yeah, let the record reflect. I tried. I tried to have a little grace for the guy.
You see this? You see this, young heads? We old heads. A lot of the old heads don't want to shit on Scotty, but the more you look at history, it's like, damn, it's worse than we ever realized.
The other thing that you have to take into context is when it happened. That doesn't sound bad now because of all of the egregious shit that does happen. In the mid 90s, that wasn't happening.
Yeah, in the
At
80s.
that time, in that context, that was fucked up to say I could never see myself playing in this Bulls uniform again. Then get the fuck out. That's what they should have said.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to highlight this. You'll like this. Geloso G2F says Jordan held everyone in his team accountable, not just Pippen. He punched Steve Kerr. Come on now. He held everyone accountable.
Oh, don't tempt me to talk about Kerr. I gotta pace myself. Oh, that guy.
You know what? I will go a little bit in that direction to lump them a little bit together. How about that?
Okay.
This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about with my video, with the stuff for the Spring Hill and Clutch, and this is what that I think media conglomerate, that media empire has now done in the NBA. Steve Kerr and Horace Grant both share the same problem, is that they still have to deal in today's NBA. They still have to deal with Clutch Sports. They still have to deal with these agents. They still have to deal with Spring Hill. They still have to worry about these kinds of contracts and these kinds of dealings. You got Horace Grant. It's a thin thread. I don't think it's directly responsible for anything in particular, but it's just something to note. Horace Grant's nephew, when he was coming up for free agency, I don't know. Do you remember this? When he was coming up for free agency, ended up going to Portland the day before Lillard, just abandoned the Trailblazers. When Lillard, you remember Lillard leaving Portland?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. The day before that, they signed the contract for Harvey Grant's son, but for Horace Grant's nephew to join them. He was worth about 2.5 times the mid-level exception, sort of the MLE value, which at that time was about $28 to $32 million. When he was coming up for free agency, Clutch came to him, signed him, and Clutch negotiated him up to $36 million with a $36 million extension, which is way beyond the ceiling of what he was actually worth, to put him on that team with Damian Lillard. And then at the time it was talked about as like, holy crap, that's a crazy deal. That's amazing. But then the next day, Lillard left, and then that became the story, and then nothing ever happened with that. And he just proceeded to collect $36 million. But my point is that Horace Grant has to deal with this. Horace Grant has to deal with, he doesn't want to, I would assume he doesn't want to, ruin any relationships or anything, because his nephews are still playing basketball. His one nephew is, is sort of a, I don't know, I don't want to say like a lower level, but like a lower level, NBA player, which is amazing. And then his other one is, his other nephew is a, star, not a superstar, but a star player, a $32 million player. So, these guys, and Kerr, he's got to run, he was running the Olympic team. I mean, he's obviously working with all these things, the highest paid coach. He's got to have relationships with all these people. So you wonder, you know what I mean? Like, you stick a microphone in these guys' face, like, I think these people are just trying to survive out here. You know what I mean? They're trying.
All right. Siberius, Pineapple made it impossible not to continue down the Steve Kerr topic. So let's go.
I'm inviting you to it. I'm pointing out these people are dealing with this machine, and so they're incentivized to be as friendly to that machine as humanly possible, to the point where they have to degrade even their own eras and their own teammates and their own former everything.
Well, I said that because Siberius, you tore Kerr apart, and rightfully so. And I kept, but you made it sound like coaches still have power that I don't think they do. And I'm not defending Kerr, but I was just sitting there thinking, can anything that you were wishing happened even take place anymore? What? In fact, everyone listening, does anyone understand what exactly the coach's power is, or how powerless a coach is in terms of who gets to play and who's on the roster and things like that? Because I don't know where coaches stand anymore.
No, I genuinely, and I have to agree with that. I think they're kind of a figurehead. They're just there to, I don't know, stand on the sideline and, you know, make motions and yell things occasionally. Because I genuinely think you're right. I don't think they have any of the power that they used to have. I think if Redick wanted to sit LeBron, but LeBron doesn't want to sit, I think LeBron stays in and Redick eats shit.
I mean, Redick just tries to tell LeBron things while LeBron is in. If he doesn't want to
Yeah.
listen, then Redick eats shit. Forget about sitting him down. You can't even yell things at him.
Now, I don't want people to think I'm all defending Curry, because back in the Olympics, I was like, Curry has done so much for you, and Curry saved that Olympic team.
Yeah.
You should have said something. You should have said something about that bullshit MVP. You
Yep.
should have had Curry's back. And Kerr went on to give some sort of weird compliment to LeBron about the toughest person he's ever had to prepare for, or some shit like that. Kerr, you swept him, and then you gentlemen swept him, and the one loss was a fucking bullshit rig job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, let's go to the other side. That's me telling Kerr, come on, dude, be better. Now, on the other side, we talk about how powerful clutch sports is. Can Kerr get rid of Draymond, or is Draymond more powerful than Kerr?
I think Draymond is more powerful than Kerr.
That's fucking scary.
Actually, you know what?
and
It
yet
doesn't even matter if
possible.
he is or not. I don't even think it doesn't even matter if Draymond Green is or not. I think Kerr perceives it to be more powerful. I think Kerr is more scared of that than he is willing to do anything about things like that.
Did you know that Draymond assaulted Kerr in the locker room like 5 years ago?
I mean, that doesn't surprise me even a little.
No, I didn't know
I
that.
I did not know that, but you couldn't have surprised me less.
It just made it that much more disappointing that they have tolerated everything else that he's done, when I found out in hindsight that had already taken place as well.
I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's so insane. You imagine somebody like trying to punch Pat Riley?
I don't think he tried to punch him, but he rushed him and had to be saved.
That's crazy. That's unbelievable. But I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, why not? I mean, why not though? Like honestly, like why not? What's going to happen to Draymond Green? What's going to happen to any of these people? Like it doesn't matter. There's
He's
no
going to-
like Siberia's
No, he's
talking about,
gonna-
there's no consequences.
No, he gets invited onto the fucking panels for the shows, and they're still running that one stupid Kia commercial for 3 straight years, where somehow he laughs off a coyote or a wolf in the woods.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
What does this commercial even mean? Now
That
he
is
sits there
the
with
truth.
he sits there with the TNT crew, the people that we used to like or want to like, and hey, welcome to the show, person that we all hate.
Yeah, that's true. But that's, and remember, Kerr is currently, right, all his like recent comments and his stuff was the greatest athlete of all time and all this
It's just
noise.
fucking weird.
Yeah, he's in the middle. He's literally in the middle of negotiating his new contract.
Well, as Siberia said, how much fucking money do you need, man?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you watched my first video on how the league makes money, but I literally put that graph in there. There is enough money, and then there's infinitely more money.
Yeah.
Like, and there, no one seems to be satisfied with enough. And I pointed this out before, like in the 90s, that was enough money. Like that was enough money. People just had the cultural, had the media, had the sort of structural incentive to play basketball and to actually try to win and put on something good, put a good product on the court. And now they just don't. They just don't have that incentive. Most of their incentive, I believe, the league's incentive I made a video on, but from guys like Kerr and Horace Grant and all these people, I feel like their incentive is fear. I feel like they just fear the machine. I think that's what it is.
He should have taken the opportunity to walk away instead of kiss even more ass for another contract, because you know what we didn't even talk about yet was Draymond talking about Kerr held him back and he'd be an even better player instead of saying, "Thank God I was on the Warriors." I mean,
Wow.
Kerr isn't just tolerating Draymond; he's getting abused by Draymond, and he
He
wants to
is.
sign, and he wants to come back for more. Damn, dude, take the money and go to a tropical island or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would love to see. I would love to see even one, just like you know what, and just lay it all out. And if he gets kicked out of the league or they run, whatever smear campaigns they want, fine. I have already hundreds of millions of dollars from my time in the NBA. I never work a day in my life. I'm gonna go chill out.
Look how
If
edited
only.
Barkley is. Barkley knew what was going to happen on ESPN. Like Barkley is still our best hope, but he's a shell of his former self as
Well,
far
he
as
is.
speaking.
Absolutely.
Yep, I would love to see. I would love to see him make his own thing.
Independently funded. Yeah.
Absolutely, I'd fund it. I'd help. I'll put money into it. Are you kidding me? Absolutely.
The old
I mean,
school fund.
Wouldn't that
the
be amazing?
Barkley that I remember, and I mean, and I'm saying this as a Bulls fan, is when all of the Bulls fans were basically considering that the final series was over, and Barkley told them take all that shit off the windows because they were boarding up all the windows and everything for the fucking parade, and he's like, take that shit down. That's the Barkley that I want, telling people to go fuck themselves right to their face.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see it on ESPN. I mean, he like AOH said, I think he knew what was coming, and now you just see it. It's like a neutered version.
He doesn't know. He doesn't want life after this. I think he loves being on that panel with those guys.
I think he does. I think he probably has a lot of fun. And, the fact that he has to offer a toned down version of himself, he's like, oh, fuck it. Who cares? Like, no job's perfect.
Yeah.
Probably. But like, why is that? I think it's because of that machine. I think if you step out, I think that's the end of you. I think if you're on the outside of that circle in any way or disparaging to someone you're not supposed to be disparaging to in a way that you're not supposed to be disparaging, I think that's it for you. I think you're done. I think that's what they fear.
True. I do think that's true. I just want one person to not give a fuck for once.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys openly, this is how little accountability there is for it. These guys openly brag about making troll advertisements against anyone in basketball. No one is untouchable. They are happy to go and produce that shit. They're happy to seed that stuff. They're happy to amplify it. They're happy to run every sort of dirty media play in the book, and they brag about it. They self-title themselves after this stuff.
Yeah.
Like there is no equal or opposite force as of yet, I think. So I don't know what that force would look like. I don't know if NBA Europe can help with that because it's 50% not the NBA. So I don't know if that can help. I don't know, how the future of media will maybe help or something, or when people stop caring. I don't know. I don't know where that ends, when that influence sort of wanes, or when something else comes up to replace it. I have no idea. I think it started, though, to be fair. It was just to inject some hope into the conversation. I do think that, all the players and most of the owners voting all together to ban the clutch, team model, to ban the clutchonomics thing that I talked about, where these superstars cannot make rosters like that anymore. I think that's a step in the right direction.
Sure.
Right. That helps. That takes away a little bit of leverage, but as long as they have that kind of media power, I think legacy media is way too scared of that.
Hey, you guys want to talk about the NBA right now? Like which of you guys predicted what happened to the Celtics, and which of you are actually surprised?
Listen, AOH, I just put out a video about how Clutch Sports and Spring Hill manipulated all this shit and manufactured an ad against Michael Jordan. If you want me to talk about what I think is happening in the NBA, you will turn me into an actual conspiracy theorist. That stuff is documented. What I would say about what's happening in the league right now, there is no documentation. That is pure conspiracy.
Hey, you wouldn't be on Siberius's show or your show or whatever this is if your conspiracies weren't welcome, because we know that you do your research, so they're not coming out of nowhere.
I think they started talking about if LeBron beats this thing, if LeBron gets out of the first round, he's the GOAT 2 weeks before anything even looked like that would even be remotely possible. And then KD sits, and then they
Yeah.
stretch this thing out, get all their ratings for it. Who knows if they'll get another, another year like that. So you cannot convince me that's not highly controlled and manipulated. I mean, there's just no way. It was said beforehand. It was seeded beforehand. Nobody had. I saw your email earlier. I'm glad you mentioned it because I thought you had seen it and just didn't find it funny. But the money, if you looked at the betting markets, if you go look across all of them, the sports books, people had the Rockets beating the Lakers by a little bit, and it didn't move when KD
Oh,
was announced
yeah.
to miss the game. It
Yeah.
didn't move at all. So everybody talking about, well, KD, but KD was such can you believe he's dominating KD? Nobody who put money on the games thought that KD mattered to the game at all. Nobody thought he
No, if
mattered to the
anything,
series.
if the team had had a chance to develop some chemistry without him, it may have been an even better series. Like
I think
even
so.
in the series, they're going back and forth between, are we dealing with KD or are we not dealing with KD?
Yeah.
Yeah, but suddenly
And
we don't know how
the
to play
two that
defense. Suddenly we don't know how to handle pick and rolls. Somehow it's like all of a sudden we don't know how to do anything.
Different destination. We're not whole different in the sense that we're seeing completely different.
Like, did the Rockets, to anybody here, anybody in chat, did the Rockets look like they were the higher seeded team for the first 3 games?
No.
Like this, I can't tell you how manufactured I think the whole series was.
As I said on AOH's stream, it looked like fucking Keystone Cops. What the fuck are you people doing? How are you called professionals? This is playoff basketball? Really?
Yeah, but it comes out of nowhere. It comes out of nowhere. So I don't know. The fact that the narrative started 2 weeks before there was any sign of anything, because supposedly he got injured on Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
But like a week and a half before that, they were already talking about it. How is that possible? Like I don't buy it. The media should have been surprised. Everybody should have been surprised. Instead, nobody was surprised.
No.
Nobody had money on it either. Nobody had money the other way. That's what bothers me, is that there's no sign that there was any kind of I don't know. It's so in line with the narrative. It's so in line with what they were saying before it happened, despite nothing indicating that something like that would happen. I don't know. That's so sketchy to me. That's unbelievably sketchy to me. So, and I'm between us, I'm now, and the whole internet, I guess I am somewhat concerned. I have this feeling in my gut that they're going to push that all the way and he's going to retire with a championship. That Luka, that they're going to just destroy, that the refs are going to destroy OKC. There's going to be 100 foul free throws. I just have this feeling. I just have this feeling that that's what they're going to try to do.
I know, man. Every time that LeBron is eliminated, I get this overwhelming sense of relief, and I can enjoy the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah.
But don't you I feel like they're already starting to talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And I don't know. I don't know if that's strong enough, or if it was such a huge push because they can help him out of the first round, but not beyond that. Because SGA is going to be the MVP, by the way. I don't know if anybody's confused that think that he's not going to be the MVP, but he's going to be the MVP. And I don't even know that much. I don't know that much about SGA. I just know that he's going to be the MVP. But that is actually my next video, is the MVP breakdown, the voter roll, how they vote and how they tend to vote. And it's I've had this for 2 weeks or something, but yeah, that's a whole bunch of dirty stuff. Like, I'm telling you, he's going to win. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it just seemed like that for a while. Now I'm gonna surprise everybody and say something positive. I heard SGA a soundbite of post game interview, and I liked what he said. I'm like, oh, okay, that was pretty modest. Now the flip side of that is that Thunder team. Damn, dude. they're good even when he doesn't play, which
Yeah.
to me, isn't that a pretty big ding against being MVP?
To me, it always has been. I mean, I don't particularly like SGA. I don't like the way that he plays. I'm not particularly impressed with his game. I just don't really care either way. And I do think that his team without him could be a 50-win team.
I think he admitted that in this post-game
Yeah.
press conference. They're like, "Hey, these guys make it easy for me. They allow me to do these things." And I was
Sure.
like, good for you for acknowledging
Wow. I
the
like that.
situation. Yeah,
I
exactly.
like that a lot. That's great.
Because when was I mean, if that's what he said, when was the last time that you heard that?
Shit.
I can't think. 40 years, 30 years, I don't know, a long, long time. Probably Jordan was the last person to say that on the Wizards.
Yeah.
So I think that's how I'll be interpreting it. I'll be interpreting it as if OKC wins, they gave LeBron something, but they want to move on and they're pushing up their MVP now. If the Lakers even look like they're gonna win, I smell a rat. Like I smell a rat.
Hey, Pineapple, regarding your conspiracy theories, I ran into someone today that I hadn't seen in a while. And it's so interesting. They brought up basketball with me because they know to bring up basketball. And it's so interesting to have a conversation with someone who hasn't been in the thick of it and explain to them what happened and have it and look at the dumb and oh, isn't that a good matchup? Isn't that Kevin Durant? I was like, Durant didn't play, and not for any good reason. They're like, what do you mean? I was like, he had a bone bruise. They're like, you can play with a bone bruise, can't you? And I said, the next game, I said, you are correct, but that's not the end. The next game, it was something about his ankle, and then the next game, I don't even. What was the next excuse? I lost track.
Can't
I
play with these bums.
remember.
Needs to leave Houston. No, seriously, right? Isn't he? He's demanding to leave Houston because the team is terrible. That's
So
what
when
he said.
when people aren't embedded in this like we are, and they hear it, and they're like, no, like it sounds unbelievable to them, then you are reminded that we are not the crazy ones.
No, we're not.
That makes me feel a little better. That
It
does
was a
actually
sample
help.
size
Thank
of
you.
one, but
No, it does help.
I have to remind myself because I stopped watching the game for so long and came back in 2020. I have to remind myself of how I felt in 2020 when I saw this modern era for the first time. I was the most sane I had ever been at that moment, looking at it with completely fresh eyes and thinking, what the fuck has happened to the game that I love? What did they do? They've ruined it. And then because LeBron played in one of the first 3 games that I saw and he flopped 3 times in that game, I was like, this is the guy that everybody's talking about, saying is better than Michael Jordan. What the fuck has happened to this world?
yeah.
No, we are the sane ones.
Sorry, go ahead.
Was that your first episode ever, Siberius? Because I remember you talking about that.
I don't know if it
Or
was
was that a big
my
one?
my first one ever was the LeBron fanboy excuse checklist, so it may have been like second or third video.
I remember that.
Okay, maybe it was a really long comment that you wrote.
That's also very possible.
I will say the only reason that I have a channel is because of finding your channel, AOH, and then finding guys like you, Siberius, where I found out that I was not the only crazy one. I thought for years, I thought like maybe I'm just nuts. Maybe I'm just too cynical. Maybe I just think everything's too corrupt because like I have a background in some of that stuff. So I'm just like seeing it through that lens. And I thought, this is all just corrupt media games, media power games. This is all bullshit. This is all, economics. And then, I get on you guys' channels and stuff, and you're over there breaking down play by play. Look, there are 17 steps from when he picks up the ball to when he arrives at the basket. I'm like, okay, all right, wait a minute. I may not be crazy. There's got to be okay, wait a minute. So from that day to now I've got, now I'm putting out stuff about like, look at the conspiracy.
I think that's what the common theme across the channels is, that we're not here for the money. We're here to let people know, or at least to see for ourselves, is there anybody out there? We're not insane, are we? And then people found us and they're like, oh, thank Christ, we're not alone.
I told you last summer when you encouraged me, you said I should make a video about what I was talking about that day. And I remember literally telling you that, like, bro, have you seen viewership? I don't think anybody cares. No one would listen. It's not worth the air. I think what I said to you is that I don't think it's worth the air to say it.
Yeah.
Because who would care? Who would even? But apparently there are people, and it seems to be growing. It does seem to be growing. I feel like the grip is loosening. So that's nice.
The message there is try. Let's try, people.
Yeah. I do want to toss out
Absolutely.
a couple people from the chat, particularly for AOH. I think you'll like some of these. One of them, John Freeman 4973, says, much money is given to unproven talent and wasted years with behind them. Example, Ben Simmons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another thing that Jordan perceived early on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Timothy Miller here says, my Celtics are everything that is wrong with the NBA.
Hey, by the way, you avoided answering my question about that series.
So
You can
I
come back to it
couldn't
if you
answer
want.
it because I literally have no idea what you're talking about. That's how little I watch.
I saw that they scored,
don't-
what was it, like 2 for 300? They went 2 for 300 from three, something like that. 2 for 500. How many hundreds of threes did they take? Would they shoot like 1% or something? I mean, just come on.
Let me
come
tell you
on.
something. Today's NBA, it's hard to tell the truth from a joke. But they blew a 3-1 lead, Siberius, if you didn't know that.
Fucking hell.
It was like, what would they say it was? It's like only the 15th time or something that's ever happened.
Lynetta was asking the name of your channel, Pineapple.
Oh, I didn't know which one, so I put both. I put mine and AOH's. I'm not sure who she was asking there. Timothy Miller is catching us up here. 4475 says they were down by 1 and started shooting more threes. Yep.
That's the name of the game now. Live and die by the three. Doesn't matter if it's you're stabbing yourself in the foot with the 3-pointer. You're gonna just keep at it until the game's fucking over. Analytics don't lie.
I'm gonna go back to something that AOH has talked about frequently. You try to play like that in a pickup game, literally anywhere in America. Go try it. Go see what happens.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Right? Anytime anybody just gives you the ball or you can get your hand on the ball, you just chuck it up from as far away as humanly possible, and you just keep doing that.
Absolutely fucking crazy.
Yeah, isn't that called the first grader court?
Yeah. Oh my God. Actually, you know what? Tuesday would be a great day for that. If we're gonna do a co-stream. Whoever hosts it, we have AOH, we have a video for you. We have a video from I think it's like 1951.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, I don't know if you watched it all the way through. I'm not gonna try to put you on the spot, but in my first 2 videos, I put it at the end of my video, like this angry kid smacking the basketball away.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have it anymore because I don't know. I heard from someone that, like, I don't know, like the retention at the end or something. I don't know, YouTube stuff. But that clip comes from a video that I sent, or I let Siberius know about. There's a video from 1951 teaching children how to be good sports and how to like be good sportsmanship and how to be a good player, how to be a good team player, and all that stuff. How to be good at life in basketball. And they do it in that sort of goofus, gallant sort of thing, like Here's shitty snot-nosed kid doing everything horrible and wrong and terrible for basketball and for life and for friends. And here's great kid who is super nice and everybody loves him and he does a great job. And I'm telling you, shot for shot, line for line, every single thing that shitty kid does is everything that is done in today's NBA. I mean, it's one by one. It's shot chucking. It's not passing the ball. It's getting in fights. It's walking off the court. It's not shaking hands. It's disparaging teammates. I mean, it's one after another after another. And I'm just like, oh my God, almost an entire century went by where every kid was taught to play sports and basketball like this. And then you look at the modern NBA and you're just like, this is literally what they filmed as the example not to do.
You verified this? It's not like an AI from today made to look like an old one.
No, I took it.
No,
No, I downloaded it. I took it from Prelinger Archives. I took it from the company that made it in 1951. It's now in
Wow.
public domain, and that's how I cut it up and used it in my at the end of my videos.
Well, let me take a shot at all the LeBron fans listening. Like that video that told people how not to behave. You're celebrating the people that behave like that video.
Yes.
That's
it's
what I'm
every single. So I had sent you an email about it asking if I could use some clips from your video. That was why I wanted to do it, because my goal is I'm going to make the video of the narrator saying this is Timmy being an asshole and nobody likes him, and then have the clip of LeBron doing that exact
Yeah.
thing. And it's
So
funny because within one video of you talking about LeBron, he did all the things, like all 8 things that they were talking about in that one fucking video.
Your rhythm video, every single thing from that short from 19 or that whatever instructional film from 1951, every single thing is represented just in that one video.
Yeah.
God.
But we'll watch it. So everybody in the chat, if you come on Tuesday, we'll be chatting again live. But we will do a little like watch party of that video, and you can see what they were teaching kids for 100 years about basketball versus what the NBA looks like now.
But also the other thing that you could highlight in that video is all of the things that the good kid is doing is what Jordan did.
And it's what players get trashed for doing now. Players who do that stuff now get trashed.
For example, who got trashed for doing something good?
A lot of guys ended up, for example, DeRozan used to give like what 10,000% effort. I mean, he was always out there. He played most games. He was passing. He was moving. He was getting his teammates motivated. He was scoring consistently. Different. What I say in the thing is like 12 years straight, 20 points, averaging 20 points per game, 12 years straight. Like that's crazy. There's like 6 players that have ever done that. But losing to Cleveland a couple times and then getting trashed in social media. Now he sucks. He's terrible. He's a loser. Like he can't win. He's a complete piece of shit. And I don't really know why. I don't know why that happened.
I just had 2 fanboys in my comments having that exact argument that LeBron absolutely shut down DeRozan. And I was like,
You're literally cheering for shitty kid, for shitty Timmy over good Timmy. Was there ever a name for a smart Timmy? I don't think so. I think Timmy was only stupid. The manufactured basketball thing was originally going to be Timmy Learns off of that meme from,
nice.
10,000 years ago. I didn't think enough people would get it.
Probably not. But
I don't even have to go back and break down the footage to be able to tell you that LeBron himself didn't shut down DeRozan.
I don't think LeBron himself has ever shut down anybody.
He didn't.
No.
I don't think that's ever been a strength of his.
And I liked it because I didn't even have to say anything because I don't acknowledge fanboys on my channel. And before I could delete the comment, somebody had responded to it saying, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but clearly you didn't watch because that's not what happened.
How can you, sorry, Prozac623 asks, how can you shoot more threes when that's all anyone ever does now, except LeBron because he can't shoot threes? I want to touch on that for a second, because how many times have we heard that, like, look at Jordan's 3 points. Look at how many threes Jordan shot. Like, he's terrible. Like, he's not the GOAT, whatever. Have you watched LeBron shoot threes? Have you seen that happen? Like, it's tragic. Like, at least when he shot them, they looked good and they still went in. Like, I mean, he was still good at it. I don't know. It's not
So
like
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I'm saying it's not like he tried to develop that part of his game. LeBron
No.
actively tries to shoot threes.
No, not at all. So when I posted that post on my channel about, LeBron having 23 turnovers in 5 games, there were 2 different fanboys that responded to it saying LeBron was the best player on the court. And in the game that they were specifically talking about, he went 10 points, 8 turnovers, and I think went 0 for 6 from the 3-point line.
Solid.
So
Wasn't that the game? Wasn't that the game where he actually had 8 points up until like the last couple minutes?
yes,
Okay. I just wanted to clarify. I wanted to see if that was
but
true.
it was that comment that made me make the video that I made today, that why context matters. Because on paper, well, not that game on paper didn't look great, but like his most recent game where he had 28 points, he still only shot 40% from the field. I still think he went 2 from 7 from the 3, and still had 3 turnovers. So I'm like, context is something that is grossly missing from the game today. And I mean, you have to actively seek it out. No one's going to offer it to you. If you're not looking for it, nobody's showing it to you. So when you just look at the box score without context, yeah, I mean, I guess it does kind of look impressive.
I don't know. His box score is very telling to me. Maybe that's just because I already know what it looks like in reality.
Right,
I can look at the number and see it in my head. But these people, it really, really upsets me, because they literally just sit and wait for someone like Nick Wright to tell them what to say.
Uh-huh.
They don't know what happened, and they don't care. Their lives revolve around being dedicated to somebody, and they don't even watch what that person does. And they wait for someone else to tell them what their mouth should say.
How many times have I joked about it, that he's the GOAT? This is the greatest era, and he's the greatest player of the greatest era, and you don't want to watch it. Like, how does that work? How does that make sense in your mind? How can that be true?
It doesn't.
Like, they don't watch it. They don't actually look at it. And if they do have it on TV or at like a bar or something, in a restaurant or something like that, they're on their phones anyway. Like, that's why the announcers repeat everything 500 times, and how they get away with lying about what is directly happening in front of their faces on the screen, because I'm just hearing that passively while I'm on TikTok. Like, I don't.
It's true.
And you can tell me that I'm just, being an unk or something, or that I'm just being old, and maybe that's true. But how come they program specifically for that? Why do you need it to be repeated to you 500 times while you're actually watching and paying attention? Is that what you're telling me? Are you telling me that your memory is 5 seconds long? Like, I don't know, man. I think they've got it. I think they've got you figured out.
I've said that a few times. I'm like, hey, guys, even if LeBron was as good as you want to think he is, you don't get tired of repetitive announcers. It's just like, can we move along, please? You're insulting my intelligence. Oh, well, here I am. I'm making a mistake. Here I am envisioning them actually watching the game again.
Yeah.
Because they're announcing for people who aren't actually watching.
Yeah,
who just have it passively in the background.
It's an audio clip that'll be in a highlight if it makes the highlight.
Exactly. I think that's what they're doing.
And the way that they scream now, even when LeBron fucks up, it's almost like, just in case he doesn't fuck up, we'll have the audio to go with the highlight.
It's true. It's true. It's true. And it's gross. I mean, I sent you that list. I was casually writing them down, just keeping a little tally to keep myself entertained watching that game. What was it? Lakers. I think it was Lakers Rockets. It was game 1 or game 2. I think game 1. Yeah, game 1. And I sent it to AOH afterwards. It was passively watching and not past the third quarter. It was 18 of them without paying attention like closely. 18 times where the thing that they said and the thing that was happening in front of their faces while they were saying it were completely disconnected things. And it's just, oh God, it's just so gross. I
And no, and I appreciate it. I appreciated that, but I just get overwhelmed. I can't do every video.
Oh, it's fine. You asked for it.
No.
No, I know. I had good intentions, man. I had good intentions. I had
Use
good
it, don't
intentions.
use it. I mean, I was just writing it down to keep myself entertained. This, because like what I'm actually watching, I'm actually, to be honest, if what had happened on the court was closer to what the announcer said, I think it would have been a more exciting game.
It would have.
What was
Oh,
actually
it
happening
would have been
was
far more
garbage.
interesting.
I want to give this to AOH right here. Timothy Miller 4475 says in all caps, nothing triggers me more than hearing about positionless basketball. Positionless basketball, playing the 5, but can he play the 5?
I think it's funny that never in the history of the game has anyone ever said that Scotty could guard 1 through 5 until now.
Oh, Ron
Never in the
Harper's
history of the
thing?
game have they showed a game where LeBron actually played 1 through 5.
No, it's the
Well, I
same.
get-
He does the same thing. He does the same thing every time.
Plays help
Which,
defense that isn't a help to anyone.
and he doesn't even, when someone else plays the help defense part, they actually like stick a hand out. Like he doesn't even stick his hand out.
Can I ask you again, not to put you on the spot, but when you watched the Scotty video I put out today, did you watch it or did you listen to it? I won't be offended either way.
Body?
The Scotty video, the video put
Oh.
out about the Scotty Pippen ad.
Oh, I watched it. Yeah, you
You
had
watched
the you had the basketball players in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked really hard. There's like little Easter eggs in there, but I worked really hard to model the custom LeBron in there after all the footage of LeBron James. But I have him actually there, literally just standing there, drooped shoulders, just watching Michael Jordan go by over and over, and just like casually, like RP walking, like slowly walking away, slowly just leaving the frame. So it's 3v2. Like I modeled that true to life.
That was the one that stood out to me is him not even in frame anymore because he hasn't left the other side of the court.
Yeah, I just have him walking backwards away all the way to the other side of the court.
I was like, he's doing something intentional here. But here, I'll give you advice live. It's like that is too deep to go with a topic that is also deep, but not only is it deep topic, it's a business. You're talking about the business movements of the NBA while hoping that people were going to catch the subtle nuances of the
I'm not really
animation in the
hoping it.
background.
I just want to make it fun. I just want to make
Well,
it
I don't
fun,
want it
and
to-
it's like
I don't
it's
want it to be
Easter eggs.
wasted.
No, it's Easter eggs for anybody who finds it. It entertains the hell out of me when editing. I'll tell you that.
Well, it can be reused. Maybe we'll watch it sometime and see who can find the Easter eggs live.
There's fun ones. I also cut up a
Okay.
bunch of I figured out how to make him complain, so I put
do you-
that in there a whole bunch of times.
What are you using for that?
NBA Street Volume 2. It's the old PS2 game.
Jesus, I'm old.
no.
Everything you guys do is like witchcraft to me.
NBA Street Volume 2 is from 2003.
Okay, yeah, I'm real fucking old.
So you and Siberius are about the same age.
I haven't been able to get myself to play video games for a long time.
I know. That's actually, I don't know if you remember, but I once joked with you. That's actually what I was talking about. This is what I was planning to do, the street as the B-roll thing. I told you that you'd probably really like listening to my channel, but you probably wouldn't like watching it because I know how you feel about video games. I was like, well, most of my videos are going to have video games.
Okay. Well, it's not for anyone to be offended. I think somebody got offended in the past that I ripped on gamers, but it's just like I just have to be. I got to be out playing in between my other work. I can't fit in time to sit and play a video game in addition to editing videos.
Yeah, I'm not a modern NBA fan, so I take absolutely no offense whatsoever in any way. Oh, what's going on, Woodage? I recognize that name. How you doing, Woodage? Heard current NBA players are the reason why Nike is struggling. Now that's an angle. That's interesting. You think it's not oversaturation? You think it's because the players that they're promoting are garbage?
How about
I like that. I like that theory.
How about putting out shoes called Hurt Feelings?
I mean, that doesn't help.
Oh man, we talked about that a little while ago. Do you know, I legitimately thought, not only did I think that that was like a Siberius type shoe
Yeah.
trolling thing, I
Yeah.
thought it was specifically trolling from that year. I thought it was specifically trolling when LeBron James and some of the teammates were making fun of Michael Beasley for absentmindedly coming out in his practice shorts after his mom and I think his cousin died like in like a week apart or something. I thought it was a reference to them shitting on Michael Beasley and his hurt feelings. I had no concept that it could have been LeBron's hurt feelings whatsoever.
It's somebody's hurt feelings these days, right?
Apparently it's his. But this goes back to, the idea, right? It's the oh, that's when he took it personally. Like the hurt feelings is meant to be the take it personally, and the
Oh,
shock,
really?
and the just that's what I gather. It seems like, oh, then his feelings got hurt, so then he came back and then he won everything. Like, I don't think that's what happened. I mean,
Yeah, that's not what happened.
Yeah, I mean,
What?
Draymond got ejected. Draymond got suspended. You know what I mean? Dude got injured. Like, I don't know, man. It's not what happened. But regardless, I just see that as just more of the sort of
You're talking about
unoriginality.
you're talking about the Klay Thompson comment, and everybody wants to be like, "Oh, this is when the series changed." No, it's not. Series changed when LeBron called Adam Silver, and when Bogut got hurt, and
Yeah.
Right,
they
that's-
showed that LeBron's allowed to shove Draymond and then step over him with no consequences.
Right, but that's what they're trying to say, that the hurt feelings represents
Oh,
the
yeah.
took it personally
wish.
moment.
They wish.
They do wish. But I think it's funny that, because I can't even remember what Klay Thompson said, but it wasn't even
No, it was
particularly
nothing.
hurtful. It was literally nothing. And they're trying to turn it into something.
Hey, listen, Klay. Again, we go back to like Jordan. Oh, just keep your mouth shut. I mean, what's he allowed to say? Because the whole thing was goofy. It was like LeBron. LeBron, his feelings hurt and went into a rage because he decided exactly where the line is. LeBron gets to decide where the line is. But Clay was spot on when the reporter said, "What do you know about this exchange between Draymond and LeBron?" He's like, "I guess he got his feelings hurt," and that's exactly what fucking happened. He couldn't handle being called a bitch. That's called getting your feelings hurt.
Yeah, but then
Oh,
they try to
my
make
God.
it like the, took it personally kind of thing,
No,
as if it's
no.
somehow
Then that
changed the
would've-
whole outcome of the universe.
Right? Did LeBron take over? I'm pretty sure Kyrie saved his ass.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, I think the girls in the stands hurt his feelings more than that.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine grabbing a ref by the arm and taking him over and pointing at a woman and saying, "Get her out of here"?
To
My
a
God.
young 20-something-year-old girl who then mocks you to her face by pretend crying. Holy, I would have to kill myself if that happened.
Which, by the way, should also have gotten LeBron ejected. I was
Yes.
realizing that it's an automatic ejection. You don't put your hands on the ref.
Yep.
LeBron is so entitled. He's like, I'm not only going to put my hands on the ref, I'm going to drag him over and tell him what to do. And you know what else? That ref doesn't know what happened. That ref took on LeBron's word that person deserved to be ejected.
That's true. That's actually true.
That's kind of fucked up, because what if he was lying?
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that got me,
Forget if he's lying. He gets to decide that it's worthy of ejection.
yeah. It
That's
also
actually crazy.
bothered me because I don't think that there's a fucking rule. Like, you're not signing a contract when you go in to see a game that says I won't heckle or mock the players.
No.
There's no rule. So I was genuinely bothered by the fact that they just got up and fucking left. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't pay for fucking courtside tickets and I'm gonna get up because this little bitch says I have to. Like, go get the cops. If the cops tell me to leave, I'll leave. If a ref tells me to leave, I'll tell him to go fuck himself.
Well, it takes me back to that Kendrick Perkins thing of, current players are dealing with the same level of adversity and the same level of, challenge from fans and from the public that the guys, Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain stuff were dealing with during civil rights. Like, I wonder what was said to the players on the court. I wonder what was said to Bill Russell on the court, and he did not have anybody or could not have anybody ejected during those times. But this 20-something-year-old girl somehow is the same level of adversity, is the same level. Like, come on.
I'm trying to
Come
picture
on.
how it would go down if Shel Sonnen had talked shit from the stands.
Yeah. Or Kevin Gates.
Yeah, which he did. He basically talked shit and then showed up courtside. Frickin'
Without
time.
a fucking shirt underneath. He's basically like saying, "Look at me, bitch."
I'm ready.
And he didn't. He ignored him the entire game. He never looked in his direction.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and then
Woodage just-
LeBron fans had the nerve to say LeBron would wipe the floor with Kevin Gates. Really? He wouldn't even look at him.
Oh,
Woodage 8434 is pointing out that they used to throw eggs at players in the 60s.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
Imagine throwing an egg today.
Am I
well, so
imagining?
I think they would sit out 5 games. I think they'd be injured for at least 5 games if they got hit by an egg.
I just recently read Oscar Robertson's autobiography, and it's absolutely fantastic. But one of the things that he talks about are the things that happen to him on and off the court, and typically pertaining to race. Of like, he went to go play a game in, oh my God, I can't remember the name of the city, but it may have even been fucking New York. He went to go play a game in New York, and they wouldn't allow him to stay at that hotel. Only the white players could stay at that hotel.
Well,
So
Kendrick
he was
Perkins
gonna have to
thinks
go-
that's the same as today.
Yeah, he was going to have to go stay somewhere else. So once the team found out about it, black players, white players, coaches, they're all like, well, fuck you. We're not staying at this hotel. So then they decided, well, no, okay, actually, you can stay at the hotel. It's fine. But you have to stay in these rooms. And then LeBron's bitching about a pillow. Not the same thing.
Apparently, it's the same thing. Woodage is also pointing out here, Spike Lee used to talk trash to Jordan, Pippen, and Reggie.
He did.
It's true.
Constantly.
That is true. Speaking of the old stuff, do you know? I think I mentioned this before. I mentioned the book before, but speaking of books, there's a book called Loose Balls. It's all about like the ABA. It's a bunch of like collected stories and strategies and stuff that the ABA guys used to do, and how they, what they went through, and the sort of strategies they used to try to rival the NBA or gain legitimacy and attract fans and stuff. But one of the things that they did, if you can imagine how much times have changed, one of the things they did was they actually cut their own pay in order to pay NBA referees to come officiate their games for more money than the NBA was paying them. Because they knew that the NBA wouldn't do anything for that. And the refs were typically very upset with the NBA's payment structure at that time. So anyway, they would do that to give their games more legitimacy, so that people would see that it was this like real, official, fair, well constructed game, that it was actually a rival to the NBA.
League to be taken seriously.
Right. And then I watched 2 games of Lakers Rockets. And I just think about that shit all the time. I just think about it. It comes up so much. I'm just like, man, they used to pay these guys to steal them away to give themselves legitimacy. Now, every time I see one, I think this game is not legitimate. This is crap. This is no way. Like, I think it was your video or your short, AOH, where like the ref was looking direct. I mean, all of the videos, I guess that's nondescript, but where the refs are just looking directly at the action, directly at, Jokic getting pulled down, directly at that's what it was, the shove on Jokic and stuff. And it's right, it's 3 feet in front of the ref. The ref is staring straight at it, and nothing is called. Nothing happens.
I watched a little bit of Pistons and Magic today.
I don't want to talk about it.
I didn't understand the refs. They were inconsistent. But the announcers, all of a sudden, Reggie Richard Jefferson, etc. They all of a sudden understood when there was a bad call and there was no contact, but they don't understand it when LeBron's on the court.
No,
Nope.
They condemn to themselves. You've proven time and time again that your eyes work.
it's selective outrage.
Yeah. Richard
Pineapple.
Mo1NC says the refs can't keep up or are being told to ignore the call. Though they can keep up. It's happening right in front of them. They're standing flat-footed. They're standing straight directly in front of the action, staring at it in the face and not doing it. So they're 100% being told not to call it.
So I genuinely believe that the referees started wearing those headsets so they can be told what to call and what not to call based on the betting.
My
I
God.
guess that's a theory.
Now,
I
I have
won't
nothing to
argue against
substantiate
it.
that.
But hey, we can all feel moral because the FBI is at least giving a presentation that gambling in the NBA is bad. But everyone, please proceed with gambling.
Honestly, I don't understand how anybody bets on this stuff. I just want you both to know if I ever actually make it big in anything with this little YouTube stuff, I'm absolutely taking gambling sponsorships. I just want to point that out right now. I'm gonna encourage everybody to use my videos to bet on the manufacturing process. Look at what the narratives are, whatever the narratives are, bet on that. Don't bet on anything that has anything to do with actual basketball. Just bet on what is in the best benefit of these fucking assholes. And I bet you beat the odds.
You know what would take off? You should make videos that are tutorials on how to spot a fixed game and how to bet correctly.
I feel like I
That'll
would get
blow up,
banned
dude.
instantly.
Well,
Surely that's against some rule somewhere, right? For the record,
Here's-
I am not suggesting anybody go gamble on that whatsoever. I'm being hyperbolic. Please do not use what do they say? Not financial advice in any way.
Yes.
Do not lose all your money. Do not bet on this thing.
I'm going to go bet on it, and then I'm going to use this as my proof that you told me to do it.
That's fine, because I got proof that I told you specifically not to do this. But I just want everyone to know I'm absolutely gonna, if I ever get the opportunity, absolutely come DraftKings and Barstool Sport, whoever the hell wants to come. Absolutely. You want to spend money on this? You want to bet on this? You want to bet on the most manufactured sport at this point since the WWE? Like, you go ahead. Why don't you bet on the WWE while you're at it? Like, I don't know. It's
I mean,
crazy.
they're equally as fixed, but
I just don't
one's far
understand how
more
people put money
entertaining.
on this. How do people put money on this? Like, how do you bet on this? How do you, like, I don't know how anybody can conceive that this is honest.
Well, you got to categorize it because people with money, my understanding is that really wealthy people do it just as a form of entertainment. It's like,
Yeah.
I need some sort of stimulation. Let's say that this happens. Fuck it.
But like, go watch something else. Like, I just don't understand. Like, oh, the game isn't very fun. The game is not really that entertaining, but I make it fun by betting money on it. Like, alternatively, you can change the channel. You can just watch anything else that's more entertaining. I saw, we've joked about it before, but I saw on the what is it, like the home improvement channel. They got tons of documentaries on there on like different types of paints. You can watch all sorts of different colors dry. Like, that's surely more entertaining than this. That's got to be better.
Can you bet on it?
Right.
Oh,
I have to
that's
interrupt
true.
you guys for just a second because I think both of you will appreciate this comment. Lil Brother 03 says, Siberius, what's up? Keep telling the truth. I never watched Jordan play, but I'm a huge Jordan fan and can't stand my own era.
Oh my God. Can you like mod him, give him a sub or something? Like, can we somehow hook this guy up? That
Thank
gives me
you
hope.
for saying that. That absolutely, that's the kind of thing that I need to hear.
That's something that we've seen though, right? Like, I guess it was a while ago. I remember AOH, your videos were popping in some of those channels where people were going back and watching some like the old footage of 90s and early 2000s ball. And
Yeah, there's a little bit of hope in realizing that some people can change because I didn't think fanboys could be changed. Some of them say that they can be changed.
well, Zay was a fanboy, wasn't he? Zay was
He
deep.
Yeah. He said he put a LeBron jersey on a Jordan statue. That's how crazy he was.
There you go.
He should probably still be punished for that.
I mean, I think you should. I think there needs to be like 12 lashes in City Square or something. Like, there's got to be something. Yeah,
That's crazy. But
that's
I
crazy.
on that subject, I want to go into that a little bit. I think I'm curious to hear you guys, but because I believe that all of this coverage and the hype and all of this conversation is not organic, because I believe it's manufactured, because I believe that these people have to hold water for these sort of media figures and media forces for their networks and their companies and stuff. I also then believe that as the grip on that loosens, or as that starts to weaken in any way, that future players, future announcers, future business models, I believe that the footage will actually come up. I believe that when people have a new guy to talk about in 5 years or in 10 years, that context will matter. That there'll be people arguing, oh no, LeBron James, whatever. It's like, what are you talking about? Look, I looked at the footage, I looked at the tape. He's not, my new guy is actually better. I don't believe that these narratives will last. I don't believe these narratives will stand the test of time at all. I don't think they will compete with the old narratives, and God willing, new narratives in the future from better players in a better league, if that happens. But I'm choosing to believe that this will not last forever. This will not actually work as history because it is so artificial.
I agree.
I hope.
Oh, okay. I thought that I would get pushed back there, but all right, cool.
No, I mean, I hope beyond hope. That's what I can say. Nothing in the last. I mean, I can't even say going back to Jordan playing on the Wizards. Like, there's still a reason why I didn't watch him play then. The removal of hand checking and adding the 3-second rule. I still didn't want to watch that basketball. And I understand and I can even appreciate that there was better than now basketball being played up until around 2010. It still wasn't a game that I wanted to watch. So we're talking at least 26, 27, 28 years of a game that I haven't wanted to watch. But I'm back. I mean, I don't watch the game, but I'm making this investment, this commitment to it because I love the real game, and I want to see it come back. I want to see it succeed. Do I definitively believe that it will? No. I would like it to, but I just can't make that leap given how long it's been since it was the game that I loved.
Oh, I love this. I got two comments here, both from Lil Brother 03. I like this one. Yeah, there are some guys my age, 22, who aren't pro LeBron. We aren't the majority. However, it's a few of us. I think as he loses more and more cultural relevance, and as more new players gain more cultural relevance, I think it will be less popular to sort of stand for LeBron at all costs.
I think so.
But it's the second comment that I like right here for AOH. 10 years from now, it'll be Wemby versus Jordan. LeBron knows this. That's why he's struggling to go away. He'll never be the standard.
Boy, that's good, because I was about to comment on the previous comment going that direction. Well, these fanboys, as I pointed out earlier, they just repeat what they're told to say.
Yeah.
And if LeBron is retired and their entire fandom was based upon being parrots, then yeah, we can believe that LeBron being seen the way that he is will go away, because either that or he'll stick around in another capacity and still force people to praise him all day long.
I think he's going to get into Vegas. I really, really believe that. I don't care what he said on the court. That was so coordinated. There's no way two inside men from the top both leaking at the same time that they're not currently interested. Bullshit. Like, you're trying to drive down, you're trying to keep the bidding costs from going up. That's absolutely what's happening. Don't lie to me. You guys turned. I'm not going to get started on that, but nobody believed that at all. They're absolutely making a play for Vegas. That's what's happening.
This is dark. Are you guys looking forward to any series next round?
I was when the Magic were up, because I haven't seen the Magic make a run since I was a kid. So I am not anymore, because what the hell was that? It was like a little thing for me to be excited about. Like, oh my God, the Magic could really actually go somewhere. and then
Pretty con-
instantly.
pretty concerning when you talk about the NBA rigging the Lakers past the Thunder, and we see that the Pistons, the number one seed, struggled this much against the Magic and the Celtics, who I think a lot of other people were thinking were the best out of
Sure.
the East, are already gone.
Yeah.
So fucking who's to say what will happen?
I'm telling you, man, you get me on this, and all the conspiracy theories come out. Like I really just I don't buy it. I feel it in my gut that they're gonna do it. I feel like they might actually try to do that.
I may still have too much hope. Especially given the absolute trashing that the Lakers took against them. And SGA is the MVP, and he is one of the most popular players in the league. I think it's like you said before, they had to give LeBron something, especially because whether he likes it or not, he is on his way out. Whether it's fucking a year from now, 5 years from now, whatever, he's still on his way out. So they had to give him something, especially, because Luka and Austin Reeves were out, so they couldn't just let him get fucking swept again. So they, co-conspirated with KD or however the fuck that happened. There's no way. I mean, they're OKC is too solid of a team.
Or you go the direction that Pineapple's going, and KD was part of the conspiracy. LeBron got praised like a motherfucker throughout this first round, even though he didn't deserve it. What if Luka isn't even really hurt? And this is all part of it because everybody said that LeBron needed Luka. Now Luka's out, and he won anyway. And,
For sure.
I mean, you could see. I see your point, and I see Pineapple's point. Am I calling you? Are we actually calling you Pineapple now? Or?
I like it. I've gotten used to it now.
Okay.
I mean, it's pineapple mid-range. You know what I mean? So pineapple's fine. We're amongst friends. We can be on a first name basis. You can call me Pineapple.
First name basis.
You can call me Pineapple.
Piney.
There you go. I like him. I like the little pineapple guy. My wife drew it. My wife drew the original concept for.
Oh, really?
I told her I wanted a little pineapple dude. Actually, I was talking about you. You are never going to get this. Okay, one person in the chat is going to get this. I can't do much for you right now, but if you're subscribed to AOH, I'll even give you a membership. I'll give you guys like 30 seconds or so, a minute or so, if you can guess what Pineapple is modeled after, or like what the inspiration for Pineapple is there, like the look of him with the sunglasses and stuff. I'll give you a free membership to AOH's channel. But I want to give a huge thing. There's something beautiful happening in the chat, gentlemen. I want to give a huge shout out here to all the good parenting that's happening here.
Yes.
My Lanetta 402. My son is 24, and he almost fell for the LeBron is the GOAT campaign, but he was curious about why so many people called MJ the GOAT. Lynette, and then little brother responds to her, way to go, or him, sorry, whatever, responds to them, way to go. My dad had me around Jordan DVDs and watching old games when I was young. Everything with LeBron is a narrative, and you have to feel bad for him. They made him a victim. And just
parenting 101, people.
Look at this. Look at this. Raising your kids with the truth, not letting them fall into these bad crowds. That's beautiful.
You need guidance. You really need guidance. Otherwise, you sit at home listening to Nick Wright. Don't let your kids become a Nick Wright disciple. Don't let it happen, people.
No, you got to fight it at all costs.
Keep your girl off the pole and your boys away from Nick Wright.
For less than a cup of coffee, you can save a LeBron fan. Oh, that's a video. That's absolute.
That's good.
Copyright strike or what? But we got to.
Oh, yeah. No, hold on to that one.
Get Sarah McLachlan out here.
Oh my goodness.
What is this about, though? I didn't see this. What is this? Lil Brother asks, remember the other day LeBron said something about losing the finals. He would rather lose a finals than to see Luka win finals MVP?
Oh, Come on.
Did he say something about that?
No way.
Or am I misinterpreting? Did he say something about losing the finals, and then separately you're thinking that he would rather lose a finals than to see Luca win?
That's probably it.
That's probably
Yeah.
it. Maybe I misread that. But I don't know what LeBron said something about losing the finals either, though. I'd be curious what that's about.
Well, if we go back to 2011, no wait, can we where are you guys on that? Where fanboys actually came up with the excuse that LeBron played like shit on purpose, or the
Where do
petty
you think I am with that?
Okay, okay. Let's get it out in the open. Because if any fanboys believe that, then they'll also believe that LeBron wouldn't want Luka to win either. If he didn't want Dwayne Wade to get MVP,
Oh,
if
that's
you're going to
true.
believe that,
That's a good point. That's very true.
I
That's
mean,
very true.
I'm not.
are you offended
I'm
by the
not
question?
willing to. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Are you offended by the question too, Siberius?
No.
How about people
No,
in the
I'm not
chat?
offended.
Does
I'm not
anyone
offended by
actually
it at
think?
all.
Does
I was
anyone
gonna say-
actually think that LeBron was intentionally that bad versus a choke job in 2011?
So my view on it is I will not give him the pass. He is that bad. I will
Yeah.
not give him the pass of pretending he's that bad. He is that bad. So therefore that it destroys that narrative. He is that terrible, and Jason Terry really shut him down. That's what really happened.
Yeah, and
I
take your
wouldn't be-
pick.
Now,
your
I
pick
wouldn't
on
be
the-
surprised if he created the fucking narrative himself, in defense of him being that bad. And he's like, I'd rather have people think I'm trying to sabotage D-Wade than to think I'm that fucking terrible at basketball. That I could believe. I do
Man.
not believe in any way that he pretended to be that bad. 'Cause
Okay,
he is.
philosophical question for everyone watching. What's worse, being that bad or being such a piece of shit you'd rather have your whole team lose just so someone else didn't get finals MVP? That's almost worse than being a bad
It is
basketball
worse.
player.
The
I think that's
latter's
worse than being a bad basketball player. If you're a bad
Oh, for
basketball
sure.
player, you can still play your heart out. You can still try your best.
Fanboys embraced that. We just said
They
that's
did.
even worse, and they're like, "Oh, good, LeBron has an escape route. He's just a piece of shit. That's all."
See, I was actually engaging with your question. I didn't even realize. Yeah, Timothy Miller claims you have a false premise there. Invalid question. He's both.
He's both.
My
Piece of
bad,
shit
my bad.
and he's terrible.
Hey, I'm an engagement farmer. I'm just asking these questions and getting engaged.
You know what? To be fair, there's actually evidence for Timothy Miller's thing, right? Because in China, at the beginning, he was trying and terrible, and then he started trying to be bad and was equally terrible.
Oh yeah.
So we actually saw both on display on the
We did.
same day. So yeah, points to Timothy Miller. He cracked the question. This is interesting though. There's a clarification here from Little Brother 03. Yes, he mentioned it. He said, quote, people rather see him lose in the first round than to lose in the finals, end quote. He brings this up because to me, just me, there's no way he's watching Luka win finals MVP. Think about it. If he loses, his fans will say he's 41, bro, and he made the finals. People would rather see him lose in the first round than to lose in the finals.
Well, that part sounds like LeBron. He's
That-
whining.
that
He's
absolutely
playing the
sounds like
victim. He's like, people hate me. Yep, we do.
I don't want to talk. What was it? I don't want to talk about. Oh man, I don't want to talk about me and Michael Jordan every time it gets misinterpreted, and then everybody just shits on me.
I hope he was proud of me.
Yeah, because
Did
it was.
you see my?
Well, it was all of us who
Siberius?
tattooed chosen one on him somehow. Now, I guess.
But isn't that compliment fishing? And now LeBron
Yes.
Jordan has pressure on him to respond appropriately,
Yeah,
or stay quiet. Just stay quiet.
absolutely.
Just stay quiet. Please, just stay quiet.
I think he will stay quiet. I think he will stay quiet. I think the maximum extent of what he was willing to say was that I once told the media 15 years ago to go easy. I told one reporter to go easy on him 15 years ago. I think that's the most that he gets, which I think is just tragic.
If Jordan came out and said, I am not proud of you at all. I'm ashamed. He might become a front running candidate for president for both Republicans and Democrats.
I think so. I think that would unite the country. I think it would be good for America. I think it's good for global peace.
Say it for America, Jordan. Say it for America.
He played in Washington for 9/11. You can do this one more time. Oh man, I love that. Jesus, that's crazy. This is little brother. It says exactly a major victim. Lakers make the finals. Luka can have a 30-20-20 West Finals series. The media will tell us that beating Houston is why they were in the finals, and it's not Luka.
Right.
That's 100% true.
Stealing anybody's glory. They don't care.
Jesus. I was already saying, I put out my theory in, was it Sport and Fitness Rants live this morning, that I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now that he will sit, or that he will play minimum minutes or something. He won't do much, and they will totally excuse it and say, oh, he's exhausted. He's earned load managing in the second round. He's earned it because he was carrying the whole team on his back in the first round. And so it's Luka and Reeves that are letting him down now after he did so much in series one.
And do I have to point out that you can't be beating Father Time while simultaneously needing load management?
Yeah.
Those aren't the same thing, are they?
No, they're not. Time does not load manage.
Well, somebody said that he's already mentioning old injuries again as a just in case.
He is. Oh yeah, he needs the ejection seat in case when it starts to go to shit. I wouldn't be surprised if he load manages against OKC in game 1 or game 2, and that will dictate the rest of his behavior for that game, because AR came back, but he didn't look like AR. So I think they forced him to come back when he wasn't ready. If Luka does come back, then it proves that his injury was a fucking fake job, and that they were just, saving him and allowing to recover from, whatever he did have to play against a better team.
Luka's still not officially out. I thought I saw something else that said that he's out for the rest of the playoffs, but
I hope so.
Good luck next year, Luka, but not this year.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Here's the conspiracy theory then. If that is true and he doesn't come back in, here's the actual conspiracy then. Could Luka be exaggerating his injury to sit this out in the hopes that there won't be a LeBron to weigh him down next year, and then he can have all the credit for winning next year?
Well, I was ashamed, and I said it like months ago. That's what I would do if I was Luka. That is disgusting behavior, and yet it's exactly what should happen. Because the Lakers have just shit all over Luka, they've at least let Clutch Sports shit all over Luka.
But see, this is what if y'all are listening out there, DraftKings, I got you.
Yeah, dude,
Hook me up.
You're giving tutorials, and you don't even know it. You might as well get paid.
Hook me up, DraftKings. I will plug you all the time. This is the kind of bets. These are the kind of bets that we could be making.
So this is from 5 hours ago. As mentioned, Doncic is still without an official injury return timeline, but as time passes, since he went out with his hamstring strain, there remains hope of him getting back on the court for the Lakers at some point soon. So I'm sorry.
I've got another one. What if he's waiting for LeBron to get hurt and then he'll come back?
That I'd be 100% on board with.
But you know what? And I'm not as ashamed as you are. Maybe I'm just more cynical or more pragmatic, but I'm not ashamed at it at all. if I were in Luca's position, absolutely I would do it, and I would not feel ashamed about it at all.
Nope.
Like, how much can a man be thrown under the bus for this shit?
Well, that's
Like,
what I was saying. I'm just saying that when we preach about, hey, do the right thing, and that's what I meant by I feel bad saying this. But in Luca's position, yeah, they fucking deserve exactly that type of behavior from Luca.
yeah, I think so. If I was Luca, I don't think I would be very ashamed of it. I think, yeah. I mean, why not? Why not do that?
And as crazy as what we've been saying is, it's totally fucking possible in this NBA.
It is. That's the scary part.
Oh my God, I'm teaching the youth. Oh my God, we willed it into existence. I'm teaching the youth here. Little brother 03, don't make these, don't do this. I tell you what, I think these so-called conspiracies are valid, but if the Spurs or Thunder lose a star player, I think that's a sign the Lakers advance. All LeBron championships are asterisks.
Yeah.
Gambling is bad. Don't do that. But yes, I mean, it's scary because it's like you think that's absurd, but it's predictable, and then shit happens like that year after year.
Thought they were going to find a magical way to swap the opponents when the Timberwolves lost two of their stars. They were like, hey, by the way,
Oh.
the Lakers are now facing the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
I mean, like at a certain point, you believe it's possible. I mean, like, what are the odds? What are the odds that they end up facing Houston in the first place?
Oh.
Like, of all the teams on that list, like that's the one team. Like, I don't know. You start going down this path.
Hey, how
Oh,
come only the stars are getting hurt?
Right? It's never role players.
listen, I talked about this. Oh my God. Listen, I'm gonna go berserk. Did I mention that in my in the load management video? I think I ended up cutting that. I think I ended up cutting it, but I said it on our live on Siberius tonight when we did a live I think a week or two ago. This whole idea of like load management being like an injury prevention type thing, that they should load manage because it increases the risk of injury, even though the NBA whatever research says that it's not. The star has the ball, right? LeBron is the playmaker. He's the assist. He's the pass first guy. So, right, he's controlling the ball most possessions, which is not true. Not even a little bit true. But okay, we're going to pretend that that's true anyway. But stars, for the most part, right, are bringing the ball up. They should have more time on ball, right? So all the role players are the ones who are moving off ball. The modern era is the fastest era, the fastest paced era with the most movement and speed and quick cuts and all this stuff that makes the modern era so great. Okay, then if both of these things are true, then it's the role players, the one that are making the most cuts, that are running the most, that are making the fastest pivots, that are doing most of the movement because they're not the ones with the ball, and that's what makes the modern era great. Why are the role players A, not load managed if it's about injury, B, not spending most of the year injured, C, not load managing themselves to prevent the injury, or D, actually being injured like 50% of the time if that's the reason and justification for load management?
Yeah.
The fact that this doesn't happen to role players across the league proves that that is not a valid reason. That's not an excuse. That's not reality. That's not what's happening. The guys who move the least are the ones sitting the most. It's bullshit that is any kind of injury prevention or any of this kind of bullshit. I firmly believe, I made a video about it. Go check it out. This is about money. This is about endorsements. This is about media narratives. This is about not looking bad on social media. This is choosing your matchups to clip farm during the regular season and then sitting out and making everybody think that you are the greatest player in the universe if you're healthy. And then once you have a whole bunch of rest, you come out, you do amazing for a couple games, then you sit the fuck back down, and that's what you do. That's what I think it is. I don't know, end rant, but that's absolutely my theory. That is not a conspiracy theory. That is just pure economic incentive. If that's how the incentive structure is, the behavior will trend towards that. Period.
Man, this was just at, well, I don't know if you guys are ending soon, but it's at the later stages of a show that's already had a lot of great topics, and that topic by itself could be expanded into an actual documentary.
It could,
And
without question.
it's such a good point. Such a good point. And it's only part of your role player breakdown that you did.
Oh, the clutchonomics thing. Oh my god, dude, poor role players. It hurts. It hurts my soul, man. It really does. Yeah, Wootage here, echoing your video from a little bit ago, your earlier video today, Real Siberius. Pay
Yeah.
players on a game by game basis, and load management would be gone. Exactly. 100, 1,000%. You change the incentive here, the whole problem goes away instantaneously. Like, and I pointed out a thing about this before, the talking about the technicalities and Jokic coming back and trying to get appeals to still be allowed to get awards in All NBA and stuff, trying to appeal like being a little bit under 65 games and all this kind of stuff. The only reason there's appeals is because they were already really close to 65.
Right.
Like, it's not the appeal at the end isn't the problem. It's not this. It's not the 64th or whatever whatever the fuck it is, 28th game that screws them. Like, it's the 27 games leading up to there. Like, they shouldn't even be close to 65.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't give a shit about anybody's appeals or should they deserve it or don't deserve it. 65 games is hard. Like, nope. Not for me. Not until role players get to load manage like that. I don't buy a single word of it.
I agree.
Oh, Speedy Eagle's onto this too. For the load management, these players can control. Sorry, for the load management, these players can control these coaches. You would think they would just tell them to lower their minutes to play so they can't get hurt. Well, AOH, that's all you. That's you and Mr. Kerr. Coaches in the league today.
Hey, I put out a short like earlier this year making fun of Kerr that caught fire. So anyone who thinks that I'm going to blindly defend Kerr because of the Warriors, nope. Let me tell you something. Disappointment is the worst because Kerr used to be likable. I thought he was likable. In fact, I thought
He was.
I thought he used to say pretty intelligent shit.
Yeah.
So fuck you, Kerr, for the disappointment alone.
Yeah. Maybe this will be a teaser for a future one because we probably should start wrapping up here. But maybe a teaser for. But AOH, I have a very, very solid theory that in 2028, the new CBA, there's no longer going to be the ability to play 82 games. They're going to lower the amount of games per team, and they're going to lower the quarters to 10 minutes. That's my prediction.
Oh boy.
That's absolutely my prediction. And I also predict that they will all still complain about it anyway.
So
and it won't make a lick of difference.
I apologize, guys. I don't know your athletic backgrounds in Siberius. I don't know exactly when you had your injury, but did you guys play actual basketball games, like organized?
Yeah. I played basketball, baseball, track, soccer, and tennis.
When
I
you're
played
playing.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I didn't even let you answer. Please answer.
Siberius, did you play basketball?
I
sports in
never
general?
played organized basketball. I only played pickup games like at the court. I did play organized baseball.
Okay, the only reason I specified organized is because of the length of time that you're on the court is, defined if it's an organized game. And I personally felt like the games were suddenly over. Like when you're playing in them, they don't seem that long.
No,
Sure,
they
you get
don't.
tired when you're trying hard, but you could keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only time it feels like it's forever is either when you're destroying the other team or when you're getting destroyed. Then it feels like it's an eternity. But other than that, it feels.
Or when you're watching the NBA.
Well, that also
because
feels
that's
like
usually what's
eternity.
happening in the NBA.
Yeah.
Someone's getting destroyed by like
And
50 points because someone's shooting 30% from 3 and the other team's shooting 9.
And the gameplay's being stopped. I mean, these guys are always stopping. How can you possibly get tired?
Yeah. Oh, I mentioned this once before, but did you know, this is a fun fact for you, AOH. This is a fun fact for you to lose your fucking mind.
Oh, goody.
Do you know, I don't know if you remember or if you have it somewhere, deep in the archives there, but when they put in the 3-second rule, do you remember what the logic was for doing that? Do you remember why they put the 3-second rule in?
No, but now I think it's something about resting.
Sort of. It was the opposite of resting, but it's because there were too much reliance on guards trying to drive into these ginormous, now everybody was looking for shacks and stuff. We had a bunch of Iversons going in and a bunch of shacks was the idea. Now it's too many fouls, too many stoppages. There's too
Hmm.
many fouls and stoppages that's extending the watch time of the game and slowing down the pace and ruining the flow of the game. So they put in the 3-second rule, and then later hand checking came out,
What year is
and
this?
that's I want to say it was
I think 2000, I think
2003,
2001 was
2006, something like
for
that.
2001 was
God.
for 3-second rule. 2003 was hand checking.
There it is.
To reduce stoppage.
To reduce
To
stoppages.
reduce stoppages.
And now
Because
there's more
games-
stoppage than ever.
Yes.
Check it out. Because games were going to about 2 hours and 10 minutes to 2 hours and 15 minutes, but they were going well over the 2-hour mark, whereas they didn't used to. So we got to try to speed this back up. That was the idea. And it took teams a while to adapt to that, right? With the 3-second rules, a lot of these things had contracts and stuff. So that sort of
Yeah.
changes the G League, that changes AAU, that changes who they scout for to play in the new rules. But when it eventually settles out, it works for a little bit. And then we see from right about 2009, 2010 to now, we are back up to 2 hours and 15 minutes is the average NBA game, is longer than before. So somehow they made it less physical and there are more fouls and more stoppages during the game. That games actually take longer now, have less flow than when they changed the rules to try to speed it up. So I don't want to hear anything about this is the fastest pace of the NBA ever.
Yeah. And I'm not surprised that it's that long, but I almost expect I'm actually still a little bit surprised that it's not longer considering the number of reviews alone that they do.
Oh, hang on. That's the average. So you take the longest ones and the shortest ones and you put them together and you get that number. I could probably calculate like a mean, especially if you look. That would actually be a really interesting little analysis to do. Look at like different teams and see how long their matchups are. Like if KD plays LeBron and they're both playing in the court, is it like a 3-hour game? Like how long does it take?
So are you
Whereas if the
still for Tuesday, are you still going to rehash the original topic, or are you guys planning on watching the game live, or what's the
I
plan for Tuesday now?
So I promised folks that that there would be a live Tuesday to talk a little bit. We would talk a little bit about the Scotty stuff. So what I'm planning to talk about on Tuesday regarding the Scotty thing, I'll give a little recap of the video and that kind of just a little bit of that. But I am gonna sort of lay out how the rollout works, how seeding a narrative with money actually works, what platforms they target, how they get it going, how they start generating that, how you prime an algorithm to then promote when you actually drop the thing, how they actually seed that conversation, how that happens. So that's the part of that ad that I didn't put in the video. So I figure, anybody who is interested to hear exactly how you seed a narrative on social media and get it to blow up like that, I can walk through it, and I can walk through it in about, I don't know, 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes probably. So we'll do a little recap of that. The Scotty commercial for anybody who hadn't seen it or something, and we'll laugh at the goat herder more because I'm never gonna not find that hysterical. I'm never gonna stop joking about that because that's literally the funniest, dumbest thing I've seen probably in my entire life.
You got to provide a photo of this dude.
The photo of the guy.
Yeah.
I thought about it, but I don't know. I come from another time. So I like specifically I left out his photo from that. I figured, it doesn't even matter what he looks like. Let's just focus on what he said and what he's about.
I'm not
But he
saying
looks how you'd expect.
like a goat herder. Is that
No,
what
he
you're
doesn't
worried
look.
about? Does it look like an actual goat herder? Is that
No,
what you
not
want?
at all. He just looks. He looks like how I think you would expect for somebody who would call themselves a goat herder in advertising and that kind of thing. He looks.
Well, now you've said everything out loud that you were trying to avoid by not putting up a picture. So now you're fucked anyway.
Well, you
Yep.
know what? His name is in the video. You feel free to go. I mean, there's literally, you can go look him up.
I gotta tell you,
Decide,
it had
decide for
nothing.
yourself.
It actually had nothing to do with the goat herder part of it. I just like to shame people, like people who do things like this, and in fact, everyone in every one of those organizations should have their face up on the screen while you're exposing them. But it's a little bit more time. It takes more time in the editing. But no, I'm
I
not
just,
specifically. I'm not targeting goat herders.
no, but I mean, I just can't believe it. You know, like we were trying to settle something here. I'm curious about your take. Sabir and I went back and forth on this for a while. If you call yourself the goat herder, the herder of another man that you
Yeah,
worship,
yeah.
is it self-aggrandizement or self-deprecation?
God.
Are you putting yourself down or are you building yourself up?
I mean, that's a great question, but I'm still stuck on the original of whether or not LeBron should be offended by it.
I think Jordan would be offended by it. I absolutely
think he would.
I don't think there's any getting away with that over
Do you
a
think
Jordan brand or
LeBron's?
something.
Do you think LeBron's unaware? I mean, considering how many employees and how many different marketing companies there are, maybe he doesn't even know.
So Siberius and I decided that that's going to be how we measure the success of this video and the success of the story in the video. I don't care if anybody gives me credit or shouts me out. I just want everybody to react to it and be mad about it and pump it up and talk about it, and for that to become sort of a larger thing that everybody then knows that it's LeBron's camp that does this shit. That's LeBron's camp who pays for it and manufactures it directly.
Mm.
And the way we will know if we have succeeded at that goal is if one day I look the guy up in a few weeks or so and Goat Herder is no longer in his bio. That will be the proof that somebody called him and said, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Did you actually get Goat Herder off your profile?" That would be the measure of success.
Yeah. As petty as LeBron is, I'm surprised it hasn't gotten to his ears. It doesn't sound good to me. If I'm the goat and someone says they're my herder, I don't think that that's good.
If
I
anybody in
agree.
my life said that they herded me as a job, as a profession, that's what they're good at, that's what they have to offer to clients is their ability to herd me, I feel like I would get banned on YouTube if I say what I would want to do.
Wow.
Like, can you imagine? Like, I don't know. There is something to that, right? I'm with AOH on this. There is a level of disrespect that comes to that.
There is.
Like, there is, I think, a level of disrespect. But I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that given the nature and the closeness of their relationship, that he feels comfortable to say that. He feels like that would be funny to LeBron, and or that it's a joke
Oh, I
between
doubt
them or
if
something.
he's probably young enough that he doesn't understand that you should consider other people, the way these younger
Right.
generations are. And he's
Yeah.
just thinking, it makes me sound cool. And he didn't even consider, oh, that might sound disrespectful to
He's not-
thinking
he's-
I sound cool.
AOH, he's not that young, man. He's not that young.
Younger
He
than me?
graduated from college when I was in middle school.
I don't know what year that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Old.
You're not that fucking old.
We're not as tight as we should be. I don't know when you graduated middle school.
I'm just saying that was a long time ago, and he was already in college. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't
So
know what to say then.
I'll just tell you. So because we joked about this, Sabir's and I joked about this before. I was a little bit on the run on a big thing to put out this video now because in about a week and a half or so, a couple weeks, I turned 40. And I really don't want to have to have said or described goat herder in my 40s. I feel like I'm just going to leave that in the 30s. I just feel like at 40 plus, nobody should be talking about goat herders. Nobody should be talking about a grown man being another man's herder.
You're a child, by the way.
It's just what I think. Yeah, I can't win, man. Fanboys call me ancient. You call me child. I'm just gonna.
It's out of jealousy. It's out of jealousy. I can't deny that playing basketball at 40 was a lot better than now.
I'm guessing that that's probably true.
I mean, anything is better at 40 than it is now.
It makes you feel better. I had about a year where I couldn't do any of that with an injury,
No.
and so it's still getting back up to it. But yeah, I can do it. I can do it again.
I just jogged up to a bar. The Cavs are up by 10 over the Raptors.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
You guys give a shit at all about that series?
Not
No,
particularly,
not really.
honestly. Not particularly.
No, I don't. I don't either.
I'm,
I was interested in Boston because, but yeah. So
Well,
what's this?
Spurs and Timberwolves should be interesting, right?
that could be interesting.
Wait,
I mean, I
what
don't
is
have,
this?
a horse in that race, but it should at least be decent.
Excuse me a moment, boys. King Speech Row asks, did you guys cover how Mike Wilbon said he G-checked Rich Paul?
He did what?
I don't know what G-checked is. I'm apparently too old.
I have no idea. What did he say? King Speech, you're gonna have to elaborate because I'm very curious about there. Woodage8434, before we go, would like us to talk about something good, like Barkley and Jordan burying their beef.
All right. Oh, hey, did you guys notice, by the way, because I need this to be acknowledged, that I tried to bring up positive things occasionally.
You
did. You have several
I
times.
absolutely acknowledge that. And
It's a big deal.
I was
You
gonna say,
absolutely do.
I'm going to applaud you for it.
I can hear that clapping, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. And I think we all have. I mean, I brought up, incentive structures that would change it and how I think Europe is going to make the NBA better, how I'm hoping for that. Like, I think there's a lot of that.
So I saw some headlines about Wilbon saying fuck you, Rich Paul, or something pretty extreme. And I gotta tell you, I didn't click play because I was like, it's not going to be as extreme as I want it to be.
Oh no.
Let's see. Well, Rich Paul sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Did King's Speech provide the details?
He's starting to here. First thing is, Rich Paul intimidates media members who don't have LeBron as the GOAT. Wilbon said to his face, "You lucky I have him top 5."
Nice.
I mean, he shouldn't be rated at all, but
here's the thing. King Speech. I'm not trying to single you out too much, but did you see my video this morning of Scottie Pippen's ad being made by LeBron's goat herder at Spring Hill and Rich Paul?
It's a terrible, shitty video. You shouldn't watch it, but it does expose.
That's true. That's true.
No,
you shouldn't suffer it.
It is. No, it's actually, as a single example, it is actually fabulous to show how many steps there are involved to make something like this happen and to end in LeBron's favor. So I actually think it's very important.
Thank you. But all right, King Speech.
And
when you get a chance,
make sure to look at the Easter eggs in the background.
Yes, if you want to rewatch it to see all the funny little jokes I put in the background, go for it. But don't lose the plot for it. They're just fun. I got to keep it interesting in the editing room here. But King Speech. I'm not going to go through the whole thing again because we already did that a couple times. But that's what happened. Spring Hill and Rich Paul made the Scottie Pippen Mr. Pibb ad where he's shitting on Michael Jordan. So just accept that as true. You can go watch the video and argue if it's not true or not true, but I think it's sourced, it's documented. I mean, it's there. So go do that. But how much do you want to bet that impacts Wilbon having the freedom under the Jordan brand? Because he's still really close with the Jordan brand. He's still one of the few inner circle media guys with Jordan. The freedom that he has to go say something like that to Rich Paul, and that happening only in these last few weeks. Do you think that's related at all to Michael Jordan knowing? Because it's not like Michael Jordan wouldn't know who made this shit. It's not like Michael, like these guys all know who's doing what. I'm willing to bet that that is an accurate representation of how Michael Jordan felt when he found out that they made this shit and that Pippen was on TV saying this shit. That's what I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet that Wilbon does not have the freedom to speak like that to Rich Paul unless Jordan is also pissed. That's what I think.
Probably, yeah.
God damn. This is so over the top, complicated, and political. God damn, are we still talking about sports? This is fucking crazy, dude.
Well, you know what?
Apparently-
Real Siberius and I were talking about this before because we play video games, and a lot of our video game franchises that we used to love and that were great have gone to complete shit and lost all their players and the stuff over the last several years. Nobody cares about what's going on. If the NBA improves, my channel is dead. If NBA Europe saves the NBA, my channel is dead. Nobody gives a shit about any of this stuff if the game is good. Nobody has ever cared about the stuff when the game is good. When the game is shit, then people want to go and find out what's going on back there and why is it shit and
Yeah.
get mad about it.
And then come the excuses to justify it, such as, well, it's classified as entertainment.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, then, did you guys feel good about our theory that Luka was sitting out intentionally to fuck LeBron? Because hey, it's just entertainment, right?
More than that, are you entertained?
Yeah, that's
If it's just entertainment, then how come you don't watch it? How come you're not entertained by it?
yeah. How the fuck was actual competition not entertainment? It was.
Do you know what's not real basketball and just entertainment? The Harlem Globetrotters were entertainment and not real basketball. They were fucking entertaining. They were amazing. It was awesome to watch them do stuff.
And
Those
I
guys
was
were crazy.
I would still watch a regular season '90s basketball game over that.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, it's not like you
I
can't
get
say
it.
like, oh, it's entertainment, so it's fine. Like we've had
Yeah.
entertainment versions of basketball that were crazy entertaining. How come this
Yeah.
one sucks?
Yep.
Make this one entertaining then. Like I don't.
Yeah,
it's-
the Harlem Globetrotters don't cost billions of dollars. To
They don't
fail.
they don't go home. They don't go home with $52 million for entertaining you.
Yeah, but that's where my whole theory comes from, you know what I mean? When these guys, when the valuations spike up, 30, 40, 50% on some of these teams with these strategies, when these are the faces that they promote like crazy, and also the faces that are being adopted by the markets that they want to move into, when Coca-Cola wants to spend $6 million making sure that their, Jordan Shade ad or whatever their number 2's ad actually gets the conversation going. I just refuse to believe that at that level of money, billions and millions of dollars, that they're just sending it and hoping for the best and letting the random internet take care of it. Like this stuff, I truly believe is so hyper manufactured for money.
Yeah, you know what? God damn, it's gonna take me down a rabbit hole here. But like, how important was it to try and revive Mr. Pibb? Was it more about Mr. Pibb or more about shitting on Jordan?
I don't
Like,
think
why?
and
Like,
this may,
I haven't thought
Go-
about Mr. Pibb in ages. Why do
Yeah.
we need to think about Mr. Pibb now?
okay. I wouldn't go that deep with it. I don't think Coca-Cola has anything to do with any of this stuff. I honestly believe, and so I don't get sued or something. Like Coca-Cola is a great company. WPP is a fantastic agency. They're doing great work over there.
Oh
But-
my god.
Well, they are. WPP doesn't. I don't think WPP is like in deep with any of this shit. They're Coca-Cola's agency. They're a huge brand agency. Like they're not in this part of things. It's the social media side, it's the new media side, the marketing agencies that are in on this. But anyway, the point is they're not trying to construct that. I think they actually set out to do a cool ad to get conversation going with beloved like number 2 figures like Scottie Pippen, or I can imagine them doing some kind of like Agassi, Sampras kind of thing, or that sort of old players in various sports, silver medalists, or whatever. Right, Robin and Tonto, like I said in the video, stuff like that. I think that's what they went for, and they said, okay, we're going to do one with Scottie Pippen. Oh yeah, I remember Scottie Pippen. He was the number 2 on the Bulls. That's a great idea. Oh look, in the alliteration, Pippen, ha ha ha, that'd be great. All right, who knows how to get that conversation going in the sports world, in the NBA world? Oh, Spring Hill guy absolutely knows how to do that. That'd be great. And then from there, I think that they crafted that. I think it's the Spring Hill and Rich Paul that craft that. and put it out there and get everybody talking about it and seed it into social media and, you know, create what seems like an organic thing, but is not, is totally paid. I think that's the level where that happens, to try to make it hyper successful within that space. And they write the specific lines, they handle the specific execution.
So it didn't get gross until toward the bottom.
It
where
doesn't get
they-
gross until it gets to Spring Hill. That's my whole point.
Okay. So the lines about like multi-series documentaries being, you know, bullshit.
Goat Herder is the writer and director. So Goat Herder wrote it and directed it.
Wow.
So I think by the time it gets to there, it's just a concept. We just want to do cool things with number 2, challengers to the number 1, because we're trying to bring back Mr. Pip. So we want it to be kind of an overlooked, you know, amazing thing to make people nostalgic and root for the underdog. That's as far as they got. Okay, we're going to do that in the NBA. We're going to do that with Pippen. He could maybe say something funny. All right, who do we call? We got to have to compare him to Jordan somehow. We're going to have to say something like, it's going to have to be kind of like a trolly thing about him being better than Jordan or something. From there, it goes to Spring Hill. And at that moment, now we're going to write the script of, oh, Jordan is only the GOAT because of manufactured media narratives.
So I would have to believe that that's something where they come up with the narrative and then they find the vessel to deliver it.
Right. Something like that. I think
they have the story that they want to tell, and then they're like, okay, what product can we find to best deliver that message to reach the largest audience possible?
Well, all the way around, it's the opportunity. So if they want to do a thing with number 2s, they want to do it with a Scottie Pippen, they want to make a splash in the NBA culture, they reach out to Spring Hill. Spring Hill chooses to write it that way, to trash Jordan that way, and then Rich Paul's agency, Rich Paul's people seed it to specifically garner as much of that conversation online and get the discourse to be talking about it as possible.
Right.
So, but I don't think Coca-Cola has any clue about any of that shit. I don't think WPP even cares about any of that. Like,
they probably don't know and don't care.
Right. Realist says just stopping by to just stopping by to say LeBron sucks from Realist 2130 310.
Very important contribution. Thank you.
Thank you for stopping by to say that. We appreciate that very much.
I'm just letting you guys know you have 19 minutes, and then I have to go because I have not exercised today, and I will not skip it.
We said we were wrapping up like 20 minutes ago, half an hour ago.
I was jogging during this. Could you guys tell?
No.
Nice. Good job.
No, couldn't tell.
No, until I came into the bar and saw a terrible NBA game. Like, can't keep me here. I guess I'll keep jogging. Scotty Barnes. You think Scotty Barnes will ever go somewhere other than the Raptors? I just saw his face on the screen.
I don't think so. You know, I watched the Rappers for a little while. I think I watched them Scotty Barnes rookie season, and I think he had potential. I don't know what has become of him in the years since, but I enjoyed his play. You know, I'd like to see him have a chance to accomplish something. He seemed like, you know, a good player.
He got thrown to the ground by LeBron James, and the ball whipped at him, and the league said that was fine. What happened to him?
That's fucking crazy.
I think they called a foul on Scotty on that play.
They probably did.
He's like, God damn, where am I?
Do you know what would be, I don't know. I could honestly, like, I really mean it when I say that when you guys watch the games like that and say shit like that, like, it's the only entertaining way to watch basketball.
It is.
Anymore.
It absolutely is the only way.
I can only riff tracks basketball now.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Mystery Science Theater 3000. I can only watch the NBA that way.
I think it's the only way to do it is, you know, it's in the background. It's, you know, offers punchlines all on its own.
I don't know if anybody's into baseball, but I tried to watch the Magic the other day. And then I tried to watch the Red Sox today. And I made it a lot further in the Red Sox.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Like, a lot further. But if nobody knows, Mets fans know what I'm talking about. Any AL East fans know what I'm talking about. It is ultra depressing, and it's still more interesting. So
it is.
Is King's Speech still watching? And if so, does he have any predictions of the Knicks Sixers?
King's Speech is upset about 115 points per game teams scoring 70-something points in the playoffs, exposing the fraudulence of the league. So he is joining, or has already joined, or has long been a member of the conspiracy theory army. King's Speech, who you got? What happens next, King's Speech? You tell
Oh,
us.
he's not gonna vote against the Knicks. I just wanted something more specific about how it's gonna go down.
We'll see if he.
Oh, okay. How about the Embiid and Karl Anthony Towns beef that supposedly exists?
Oh my god.
I'm not sure I was aware of this until the
I wasn't
media
aware of
told
it.
me. The media told me to be aware of it, and I obeyed.
I was not aware at all. I'd never heard of such a thing. I feel like I don't know how you can have a beef if you're not on the court, so I'm very confused on how this happened.
That is literally exactly what how can Embiid have an issue with anybody when he doesn't play 60 fucking games?
Forget Towns. How can you have a beef with anyone?
Right? Like, I mean, Embiid might as well have a beef with me. Like,
he has a beef with the hardwood.
Right? Like, I don't know. But I don't know. Did you see the load management video that I did about that shit? That dude's at 20% of his contract in endorsements now from brand value while playing less than 60 games.
It's amazing.
Like, it's when I tell you it's incentivized.
$500 million, never playing 70 games in his career, never making it to the second round.
I'm telling you, man, go watch the video. It's crazy. This clusters. It's what I say at the very beginning. That's the biggest part. It clusters around 25% of games missed. Like, it is impossible. It's statistically impossible for injuries to cluster to 25%.
Yeah, there's no fucking way. Absolutely no way.
Sorry, I cut you off, AOH. What were you gonna say?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, but that's the point, is that in the 90s and the early 2000s and in the 80s and every era before, injuries were randomly distributed, games missed were randomly distributed. There was an average, sure, in the 90s it was, I think, 10 games, it's like 10.1 games or something missed, and now it's 24 games missed, like 23.9 games.
I was thinking what an inspiration Embiid is to your average coworker now, because doesn't everybody now have the person at work who expects to be paid without doing their job?
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, NBA. I'm going to blame the NBA.
Yeah, but he's one of the highest paid. So, it's crazy. We joked about this in terms of people at like the office or people at the job. Anybody have that guy at the office or at the construction site or at any job? And, we used to have a guy in the garage do that. But anyone who just walks around looking really, really busy all of the time, but never actually does any actual work.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not LeBron James. I don't know.
He doesn't even look that fucking busy though. He looks like he's pretty fucking stationary.
Do you know, I never told you, AOH, but that was actually up until the rhythm video. That was my favorite video you ever did, was with the inspiration.
Chicago?
The inspiration song, yeah. Like, I still actually sing that sometimes when I see him on TV doing something stupid. When I see him rolling on the ground or something, I just start singing Chicago. It's just so perfect. Like,
Man, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That was a long video. I went back and was looking at that, and that's just like a tiny segment of it.
Huh?
What, the inspiration or the rhythm?
The inspiration one.
Yeah. But it was, I don't know. That was just the most fitting music ever. Maybe second to it was one of the first videos I think I ever actually, like, I think it's when I became a member or something like that. But the Tropic Thunder, trying to survive all the flops, is dead on the floor with that fucking song, that like
That's
power warrior song.
I think that's when he hurt somebody, saw them hurt, and then dove to the ground and pretended to be as hurt.
Yeah. Survive.
Unfucking believable. All right,
Right.
guys. I think we should wrap this up. It has been almost 3 hours.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
crazy.
We said it was supposed to be 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah, and I need to exercise and fucking eat before I die. So it has absolutely been a great show. Thank you, AOH, for joining us. Thank you, Pineapple Midrange, for joining. Thank you, chat, for joining. And we will see you guys on Tuesday, hopefully.
For sure. Thank you very much. Thanks, chat. Thank you guys very much. See you Tuesday.
Thanks, guys. See you then.
All right, later, guys. Bye.